All right, y'all. Salute.
Salute.
We back, episode 5.
Nice,
episode 5. We back. Is that your best price? We here today. We at Clip Culture. We got Ash in here, of course. Dave.
What's up, man?
Yes, sir. Good meeting you, Ashton.
Big Dave.
Ashes, let's do it.
Respect, King.
Yes, sir.
Today, I'm excited, man. I'm sitting here with author, business owner, Big Dave. Big Dave is somebody I ran into when I first got to Atlanta. You know, the first thing a black man got to do when he get into a city is find a barber shop. And I ran across Clip Culture, a dope barber LP. When the first moment I stepped into Clip Culture, I was like, this is something different. This is something special. I was impressed with the branding. I was impressed with the professionalism. And then I stepped in and I realized he's not just a barbershop owner. He's a true entrepreneur in this sense, in every sense. He has products. Like I said, he's an author. He has books. But oftentimes you walk into a barbershop, you never know what you're going to get. You never know. But the professionalism was on point. So when we started the show, one of the first people that ran across my mind in terms of entrepreneurship and professionalism was Big Dave. So I'm honored to be sitting here. Everything comes full circle. Big Dave, again.
Appreciate you, brother.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the show, man.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the
Thank
show.
y'all for having me. Thank you again,
Yes,
Derek.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So-
Thank you.
Appreciate
So
you.
we gonna
Glad
jump.
to be here.
We gonna jump right in, man. We honored to have you. We gonna jump right in, man. A big part of what we doing is highlighting entrepreneurs.
Right.
Highlighting entrepreneurs, but also humanizing entrepreneurs, because there's a lot of people out here that have an idea, right? They have something they want to do, but they may be a little hesitant. But I think it's important to highlight people that have done it, people that are doing it, but more importantly, to show their story and their growth and where they came from, to show that it's not as glamorous, because everybody on Instagram, everybody on Facebook, everybody looks good and they show you their finished product, but nobody shows you how they got there. So I'm excited to be sitting here with Dave. But Dave, I want to know a little bit about maybe like your upbringing and a little bit about who Big Dave is, because the city of Atlanta knows who you are, but to the viewers out there, who is Big Dave? Where'd you come from? What's your story? Did you grow up rich? Did your daddy pass you a barbershop?
No,
I want to
hell
know.
no.
The people want to know. Like, who is Big Dave? What's your story, man? Welcome to the show.
All right. Well, thank y'all again for letting me
Yes,
be
sir.
here. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
this
Appreciate you, man.
platform. I'm humbled and honored to be here. I am David Michael Brown. And some know me as Old School Dave. Some know me as Boss Man Dave. I've been running things here in Atlanta for about 6 years as a business owner, close to it. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I've been here in Atlanta about
Geechee
11
boy.
years. Yes, sir. Absolutely, absolutely. So I started off in sports, music, and art. Those are like my three go-tos. If you look at what we built here at Clip Culture, it's a replica of sports, music, and fashion, the arts, and all that type of stuff. So my dad was an artist, and he used to go to the Spoleto Festival in Charleston and sell his artwork. And when I was younger, I would sit there and watch him paint and draw and stuff, and I used to be like, I can do that shit. And so eventually I became an artist. In school, the only thing I want to do is go to football practice, baseball practice, and draw. I still made the honor roll and principal list. I made good grades, but the only thing I gave a damn about was art, sports, and music. And even when I was a kid, my mother would be like, I got a brother and sister, but she was like, this one right here, all he wanted is money and sports. So even at like 5 years old, I was just drawn towards like the flashy shit. Like I'm not a superficial person, but just in the neighborhood, seeing like Dunks, Chevys, like gold chains. Like, I like that type of shit.
From Miami, I know.
Yeah, okay.
South
Yeah,
Florida,
yeah,
I was older than Chelsea.
yeah, South Carolina, yeah. But I just like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was drawn to that. Then I did music. I used to rap and I used to sing. That ain't really took off when I was like 19. I almost got signed to Universal Records with an R&B group that I was in.
Okay.
So everything you see here, sports, I played in elementary, middle school, and high school. I was offered a scholarship at Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina, but I didn't want to go there. So I ended up going to South Carolina State. That's where,
SC State.
yeah, that's where I graduated from. I ended up pledging Omega Psi Phi.
Hey. Hey.
Yeah, I got some business about myself. I got my bachelor's degree in business marketing. I got my master's degree in human resource development. I worked in management with Sherwin-Williams as an operation manager for like 2 years, and then I did corporate America with Sherwin-Williams for 2 years, so like 4 years with Sherwin-Williams. I had a bunch of other jobs in customer service management, hospitality. I worked for the hotels, Embassy Suites Hotel for 2 years.
Okay.
So I got a background in marketing, customer service, and then also when I was a kid, I got Biggie tatted on my arm. My favorite rapper is Biggie, B.I.G. So, but I was a huge P. Diddy fan, huge Dame Dash fan, huge Jay-Z fan.
Like the pioneers that made it happen.
Yeah, Cameron. When Cameron put on that pink mink, that had a pink Range Rover.
We talking culture.
That's see, yeah,
Culture.
like that's the type of shit I like.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like them Harlem cats. Like I like the flavor, I like the fusion, and so I feel like when I left some of the other barbershops, I saw what other people did wrong, but I'm not. I always tell people I'm a barber party promoter. I got my social media popping. I got everything else. I'm not just a barber. Like I'm a curator. Like I know how to put the scene together. I know how to like I know when I need a braider. I need a loctician. I need like 5 good barbers. I know when I got a weak barber. I know when I got somebody who ain't good business wise. I know when I got somebody who ain't skill level wise. I know what I need. You give me the food, I can cook this shit. Like I don't have to actually cook the shit in the pot. I know what ingredients to put in the shit to make the shit.
Ooh, make it sizzle.
Yeah, make it do what it do.
Sizzle.
Yeah, so
You the P. Diddy of barbershop.
that's me.
That's it.
I like that.
And I peeped that coming to the shop and seeing the different players. Personality wise, it's almost like you handpicked your team, because personality wise, you got a little bit of everybody. You got the master barber, you got the but everybody's phenomenal when it comes to the art. When it comes to barbering, everybody's good. But personality wise, you got a hell of a team. Let me ask you this: when you are picking your team, because Diddy and the Dame Dash, they can select talent. Is that a part of your philosophy or your strategy when you're looking for a barber, when you're looking for somebody to come into clip culture, to represent your brand? Are you looking at all of those things?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but sometimes you want to get so since we on this podcast talking about entrepreneurship and ownership, every day ain't gonna be glamorous. So sometimes you're gonna have to take a 5. You're gonna have to take a skill level that's a 5 and work with them for 3 or 4 months to see if you can elevate them, because you still got to keep that money coming in. Sometimes, as long as it ain't like, I've had some barbers that, on a scale of 1 to 10, most good barbers dress well too. So it's all it's a feeling.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
I never thought about that.
It's your daily. You're an artist.
Yeah.
So
It's your representation. It's like a good salesman gonna be dressed in a suit.
People that don't give a damn
Same
about good
thing,
haircuts dress a certain way too. If you dress dusty, you don't give a damn about how your haircut look. You know, your presentation, all that. So, but every once in a while, you're gonna get some barbers. I used to say when I opened my shop, I would never have certain type of barbers work in my shop until I had some of them in my shop. Sometimes you just going with who's available and seeing if you can work with them.
Okay.
But typically, you already know who you got within the first 2 weeks. You already know who you got, and like now I can read them. Like I ask certain questions, like how many heads you cut a week? When's the last time you cut a head? How many? What's your availability? Are you part time? You full time?
So you do like a trial period with them?
I give them a trial week. I said I don't want to put nothing on you that you don't want to do. So I'm gonna give you a week for like 125, and it's for me to feel you out and you to feel me out. I don't owe you nothing. You don't owe me nothing. So, just to see.
That's dope.
That's it. So I'm gonna take it back before we get to the barbering. You mentioned Sherwin-Williams. You mentioned corporate America. You mentioned a little bit about your path and your journey to get the way you are today. I gotta ask you the question. At Sherwin-Williams, like, what was your corporate America experience? What was?
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a lot.
Tragic.
I'd say it pretty
Tragic.
much says it
But
all.
it
right
was
there.
necessary.
Tragic, but so you took lessons from
It
it.
was hard but fair. Yeah.
Hard but fair. We know a little bit about that. Root to the good boys.
But it was, I hated it. I absolutely hated it because
Why?
Well, but it groomed me too. At the same time, that's why I said it was hard but fair. But because the good part about it, I worked in a high paced environment, so sometimes it was just me in the store by myself, managing it by myself, doing invoices, checking everything, making sure the stores ran right, and having to deal with 25 customers at a time. So you learn to move, you learn to fly.
You have to.
Yeah.
You answering the phone calls,
sink or swim.
you taking orders, you running stuff, you taking stuff out the store, you coming back in the store. Like it's a high paced environment. You doing 25 lead generation calls a week. All this stuff groomed me for what I'm doing now.
So
when
it was sales,
marketing, yeah, right.
Okay.
Sales, market. Well, I was management, I was operations manager.
Gotcha.
So you managing the store, but you selling gallons. It's a gold thing. So at the store I was at in Hilton Head, South Carolina, we became $1 million store for the first time under me and the rest of the team that was there.
So whoa. We're not gonna blow past that. Under your leadership, your management, you became $1 million store for the first time for Sherman Williams.
Correct. That store.
Did that show you your power? Did that show
Oh, yeah.
you? Did that put a battery in your back to show you what you were capable of?
Yeah, I'm goal oriented, so I was looking for that bonus, and so
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
What was that bonus like on that $1
It
million?
wasn't hitting on that. It was like $800, but it was a lot to me back
Ain't
then.
no
So
way.
Like you
Ain't
25
no way.
years old, $845 is a lot of money. It's not, but it's a lot of money when you on a regular job or some shit.
But let me ask you this: did you ever, at that time? I'm sure you're a business owner now, but at that time, when you hit that goal and you hit that bonus, did you think, how much did I make for this company? I know you got your $850.
Right.
That's dope. That's
Right.
amazing. $800, you can go get a PlayStation.
Right.
With a game.
But did you think like, I made this amount of money for this specific company, for Sherman Williams?
Not really. I just was focused on my bonus and trying to get the hell up out of
That
there.
$800.
I was focused
Getting
on
the
my
hell out of
bonus
there.
and doing what I had to do, but that's just natural for me. I'm goal oriented anyway, and I'm competitive.
Yeah.
So I play sports, so I'm just naturally just that damn competitive. So
Yeah.
if it's a game out there, I want to win. So if I see something going on, I want to win. Like you challenge me to anything, I'm going to play, and
You going
Yeah.
for it?
yeah. If
That's
I
what
want to
attracted me to
date,
sales
I'm not
too, though.
going to try to lose the game. Like we go bowling, we go shoot pool. I'm not.
Yeah.
Just because you're a girl, I'm not going to let you win.
Win is win. Win is win.
Yeah.
All right, so that's dope, man. I appreciate you sharing. Let me ask you this: from Sherman Williams to thinking about doing your own thing and being your own entrepreneur, what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna open up my own shop?
Oh, that's a great question.
What made you say I'm gonna open up my own?
Well, I actually, so let's tell the truth. I'm 37 now. I started cutting hair at 14. And I never had no dreams of being no barber. For real. It was just something I just happened to be good at. I got good at cutting hair, cutting around the neighborhood, and my brother used to tell me you suck at it. And he would never let me cut his hair.
I gotta ask, when you suck, what was your price? How much were you
I was
charging?
doing it for free in like $2.
Okay, cool. So when you suck, don't try to charge nobody 25,
Ah.
35.
I didn't
$40.
suck. He told me I sucked.
Ah,
I felt like I was always good.
you knew you was good.
I know I
At that
wasn't
point,
up
you
here,
felt
but
like you had to prove it to him that you was good.
I was just sensitive. So like
Same here.
So I was just real sensitive. Like
Be sensitive about it.
yeah, every artist is. If every artist should be sensitive about their work.
Yeah.
But what happened was I had a homeboy named Jarvis that was a freeloader. So he always wanted to get the free. And my best friend, HP, God rest his soul, he always wanted a fresh lineup, and he ain't felt like going to the barbershop to pay extra. So I started doing it around the house and doing it around the neighborhood. And I got my first pair of clippers at 14. My mama bought it for me. And that was a Christmas gift because she told me that's all you gonna get for Christmas is one thing, cause money tight. And I can't get y'all a bunch of stuff, and there's 3 of y'all. So she was like, pick one thing. And I had a full beard at 14. And so she used to go to
Yes,
the
What the
public.
hell
Me
is
too.
in the water in Charleston, South Carolina? But you had a full beard at 14.
I don't know, man.
What
That's
the
just
hell is in the water?
That's the way it happened.
Boy.
And she bought. So there was
So
a
you
Sat-
chose Clippers.
Yeah, I just wanted to trim myself up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to trim myself up. And then I would go to the barbershop. The dude who actually showed me how to cut hair, his name was Corey Stevens. So we would go to Corey for the haircut, me and my brother, every 2 weeks. And I used to feel the movements in the chair while Corey would cut my hair. But I already had my little trimmer already that I got for Christmas when I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And,
So you was learning while you was getting a cut.
yeah, I was feeling the movements of his
That's
hand.
crazy.
I wasn't even. I
It's
ain't
crazy
studying.
how
He's
Yeah,
studying.
I'm
While
saying.
he's cutting, he's studying.
it's
I
crazy
feel
how
the
people
rhythm.
pick
It's
that
a
up.
rhythm. Huh?
It's crazy how people pick that up because my cousins, they're all barbers too, and they tell me different ways of, them learning how to cut hair and all that. Like one of them just, doing people for free until he figured it out, and I never heard about somebody doing it like that. So that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I would feel the movements of his hand. I would feel the movement of what he was doing. Then he would show me little stuff. And then by the time I was 17, I didn't go to the barbershop no more. And I started at 14. By the time I was 17, I didn't go. And then by the time I was 17, my brother was like, "You good enough to cut some of these people around here, but you still can't cut my hair. I'm going to Reggie barbershop. I ain't gonna let you cut my hair." He still didn't
Your
let me
brother
cut.
was a tough
I was
critic.
about to say, you call him a tough critic. I'm calling him a hater. Was he a hater, Dave?
Yeah, he was a hater, man. He was a hater. He was a hater. But he made me.
He made you tighten up.
Yeah.
The competitiveness in you.
I used to be like, everybody around here sound tight. Yeah, they say you tight, but you ain't really tight with me.
I mean,
so
Hater,
Sister
tough
dude.
critic, either way, when you're hearing that, it's got to put a battery in your back though.
oh yeah,
It's got to. You were saying before you're a competitor, you like
Yeah,
your competition and all
yeah.
that. So that, anytime I hear that, like when we was arguing before about the quality of the show and all that, I'm like, all right, bet. So I got to do better. I got to do better at this editing, things like that. So
Shout out to Shay. Shay said that.
yeah,
Shay said that shit was trash. Dennis was like, bet.
bet it. All
Bet
right.
it.
Okay.
Shout out to Shay. My guy.
But nah, getting back to that though, definitely, I bet that that definitely had a little spark
oh yeah.
to put in you.
And then when I got to college, I got to South Carolina State. How I started, I really got good at cutting hair in college, and that was on accident. So what happened was I had a roommate, my first roommate, name was Ernest Bryce. And of course I brought my trimmers with me, but I was just using it to trim myself up. And Ernest asked me to cut his hair one day, or could I line him up? And I was like, yeah, I'll line you up. And I left the door open. So when I left the door open,
Somebody else was like, yo.
yep,
Somebody peeped
so
it.
there was a guy named Will Brown. He was from New York in the Bronx or something, and he came by my door and he was like, hey, he had a stuttering problem. I'll never forget. He was like, hey, yo, Dave,
Hey, yo, B.
you cut hair, B? And I was like, I was nervous as hell. I was
there was a
like,
B in there somewhere.
I was kind of like unsure, like, yeah, I cut hair. I don't know. Yeah. And then I started cutting his hair, and before you know it, in like a few weeks, I started cutting the whole third floor. And then before that, it was like the whole dorm.
A black business is born.
Yeah. Then after that, it was the Mitchell dorm. It was Bethea. It was Mays.
Yeah.
I was cutting all, and I would
Now,
look
is this SC State?
at South Carolina State.
Shout out to the HBCU.
Yeah, there we go. HBCU,
Shout out
South
to the
Carolina State,
HBCUs.
all of the HBCUs, all of them. And after that, I would go to the football dorm or the basketball dorm, and I would like close the door because so many people would see me cutting, and then they
Wow.
would stop, and you be in there all day. And I used to think cutting hair was a burden. Like nothing I took for real. I never charged no money. I was in college charging $5 and $2, and I used to be afraid to.
Whoa. Let's take that back. Hold on. So you was doing all these people
Mm-hmm.
$5 and $2.
for $5.
Yeah, and I used to stay booked. I used to have my
Shit, I would have
dorm-
booked you for the
would've
year.
my dorm.
Hold up, wait. Can I get a cut now for $5?
No.
Big Dave.
Nah, you gotta
Big
pay
Dave.
for
I get my
hand
hair cut every week, bro.
Nah.
I'll be your best
Price went up.
I'll be the
That price went up.
Right? My
That
whole
wasn't even
dorm was
yesterday's price. That
flooded.
was.
My whole dorm used to be flooded with people. It'd be crazy when people on Facebook be like, "Man, I used to really cut my hair in college." Like it'd be crazy. Like, cause I'd be like, I remember that shit too. I was like 19, 20, 21. like cutting hair, like before the club, especially on Thursday. Thursday was club
That was
night.
club
You
night.
can remember everything except for that price. Don't erase that out your memory.
I did last story. I tell you, I was there was a lady. She was the RA, the resident assistant, and I used to sign so many boys into the dorm, and she was like, "Mr. Brown, let me ask me, are you selling drugs? Why you keep having you dudes sign in?" I was like, "Nah."
Should have had some.
I was like, "Nah, I cut hair." And she was like, "Would you cut hair?" I said, I cut hair out my dorm. I'm cutting hair at the dorm. And I said, "Well, let me cut these two dudes right here, and I'll bring them back down, and then you tell me what you think." And I cut their hair, and I brought them down like an hour later, and she was like, "Oh, you really can't cut hair. I'm gonna try to get you a student barber gig, 'cause we had a student barber lounge or whatnot in a Bulldog Pit, or the Bulldog Connection, Bulldog Pit, whatever it was." And she's like, "There's a booth in there. I can try to get you a job." And she tried to, but they were like, I think they were trying to give a paycheck. But I never took barbering serious. It was just a hobby and a hustle, not even a real hustle. I just did it because my brother told me I couldn't.
Shout out to your brother.
So when you was doing this though, as you said, like just as a hobby, were you working full time?
No, I used to work part time at a movie theater on the weekend. I worked at Staples. I had a bunch of jobs. I had like 23 jobs in my lifetime.
So you was working regular jobs. You was just doing this on the side, just for fun.
Yeah.
You had no intention at this point. You had no intention.
Nope.
Of this vision that you have here.
I gotta ask you, because all I hear is you overlooking the God-given gift, because you treating the barbering, you got the whole school at this point. Like, I'm gonna let Dave cut my hair, especially on Thursday nights.
Yeah, but I ain't give a damn about it.
You didn't care about it, but you still working at the movie theater. Whereas if you would have changed your price from $5, you wouldn't have had to work that movie theater.
I wasn't thinking about it.
You wasn't thinking about it.
But I got
it's part of the process.
I got a huge, profound respect for barbering, because when I look back at it, 23 years of my life, I've always had clippers. I've had clippers longer than I had girlfriends. I've had clippers longer than I had certain friends. I've had clippers. My clippers been with me every walk of my life, and I turned it down, and it was the same thing that God gave me was right with me the whole time.
It's crazy how that works. That's
God
definitely a
gave
message.
you your gift before He gave you anything else.
Everything, and I was running
It's
away
up to
from
you
the
to
gift.
find it.
What?
You got to see it. You got to be able to see it. So that's a gem, bro.
That blew my mind. That blew my mind.
It blew mine too. I ain't even know.
And you overlooking it. You over at the AMC.
I used to be embarrassed to cut hair. Like, I used to thought it was a burden. I used to be like, cause people would line up to get a haircut from me, and I don't even.
And you ain't even.
No.
You ain't even serious doing it. You just.
And from my perspective, you're one of the greatest barbers and one of the greatest business owners.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
that
it.
I have seen in this profession. I've been to a lot of barbers in a lot of cities.
That's saying something now. You sure?
I'm for sure. I stand on what I say. There's a reason why.
Nah, that's a strong statement though.
There's a reason why.
Because there's a lot of barbers that.
I love my barbers. Shout out to all my barbers. But you know, some of the barbers out there, the barbering may be cool, but the business
trust me, this is
bullshit.
This is one of those businesses. You changing people's lives.
You are.
By doing this. Every time you cut somebody's head, it's like you part of somebody's life right now. You give somebody a bad cut, they walk around here fucked up.
They fucked up. But and it's a new thing, right? People are starting to appreciate barbers, right?
Barbers are essential.
Barbers are essential. Like barbers,
and it's perception.
In more than just a cut.
Yeah.
As he was talking earlier, it's therapeutic.
It's therapeutic. The new shit, like, you may think you depressed. No, you're not depressed. You just need a haircut.
Yes.
You just need a haircut. But the role that barbers play in the lives of men, let's be honest, right? Most men aren't going to therapy.
Nah.
Most men
That's what I'm saying. This is
our
therapy.
This is our safe space. Like men go to the barber shop, you sit down, you can converse.
Especially for men of color.
Men of color. This is the place where you can go and converse freely in a safe space amongst men, a bunch of brothers. Because I'm going to say it's the only space that we really can go and speak freely.
Yeah.
And share ideas and share thoughts and get to know. Like, I know I trust my barber more than I trust anybody. All right. So, Big Dave, man, corporate America, you cutting hair at the school, everybody's coming to you. What made you decide to open your own shop? What made you say, you know what, I'm gonna be my own boss, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, I'm gonna take a risk, and I'm gonna open my own shop? What made you get to that point where you decided to take that risk and make it happen?
Okay, good question. So I was in corporate America up until 2014. Got fired. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. I took a bunch of bullshit jobs for like 8 months. Prior to that, I was at Focus Receivables Management. After that, I was making $671 every 2 weeks. Barely making it. Sherwin-Williams paid me out my severance package money. I got $5,500, and over like 8 months, that money ran out.
Sorry to cut you off. So just trying to put everything in perspective, right, for like people listening. So you got a severance from the job that fired you, which was a common thread with previous entrepreneur too. Same thing, got a severance, and that's when they kind of made their decision. Yours is a little different though. You got a severance, you still went back to corporate. That money ran out, so you didn't even you never thought of going to you hadn't put owning a barbershop as a thought yet at that point.
None of it. Like I never asked for none of this shit. God gave it to me. I never asked for none of this shit. All the shit I keep getting, big ass house, multiple cars, barbershop. I ain't never asked for none of this shit. Never. Anything that's for you gonna chase you down. Like you don't have to like.
Amen.
That's a message.
You don't gotta like.
That's a message.
Anything
that's
for
crazy.
you gonna just.
Anything that's for you gonna chase you down.
That's it. So, I started barber school in 2013. I was sitting at my desk working for Sherwin-Williams. My part-time job at Shoe Carnival in Northlake Mall. At Shoe Carnival.
That was you?
At Shoe Carnival. That was me. Helping me get my shoes.
I don't mean to laugh,
But at my part-time job at Shoe Carnival had slowed down on hours, and I had a manager named Mike, and I was like, yo, I need some more hours, because I was trying to pay for my damn car and insurance. Again, I wasn't even thinking about barbering. So my mother, the same person who gave me my first pair of clippers, I was sitting at my desk in March of 2013.
Shout out to the mamas, boy.
Said, listen, this is my mother.
Shout out to the mama.
She said, David, you cut hair. Why don't you finally look up at a barber school? I was sitting at my desk March 11th, 2013. It's almost 10 years ago now.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
almost to the day.
Yeah, I started school.
Well, once this comes out, it'll be to the day. Pretty
I
much.
Googled.
That's crazy.
I was sitting at my desk.
Hold on. What's the date? I'm sorry.
March 11th.
March 11th.
I always celebrate March 1st. March 1st of this year make 8 years of working 7 days a week.
Hey, man, salute to that.
Salute to that, bro.
Salute to the mama.
Yes,
shout out to March.
So, it took your mother telling you to put that as an idea in your head.
She planted the seed.
It's crazy.
I was sitting at my desk, and she said, I was complaining about my part-time job slowing up on my hours because I work in Sherwin-Williams during the day, Shoe Carnival in the afternoon, and money was real tight. My brother was in jail, helping pay bills. I had already took out the $5,500 I told you I had. I really had 10. I gave my mama $4,500 to help with my brother's attorney fees at the time. So like that's where I was at, and so she told me to look up a barber school, and I said, oh yeah, I forgot I cut hair. I wouldn't even.
That's crazy.
I wasn't even.
How long ago? Like, and sorry to cut you off again. I'm just trying to get perspective.
The story's so rich.
Yeah, I know it's a good story,
so
bro. It's just crazy. Like, it's crazy hearing all these different entrepreneurs' story, right? Because everybody's story is different. Nobody's story is the same. Nobody has the same journey, right? But the end result is the same, right? And that's what, we're trying to put out there, and we're trying to get everybody to understand is, no matter what the journey is, eventually, you could get there. You just got to be determined, or persistent, consistent. But so getting back to that, so you were cutting hair in college, and then did you stop right after college, or did you keep going?
What happened was when I graduated college, like I actually, because I got used to cutting hair, I literally remember in 2008 when I graduated college, I went to Tolliver Barber College in Columbia, South Carolina, because I moved to Columbia. When I graduated college, I went home to stay with my mother for 2 weeks. And I said, this shit ain't going to work. Like, I can't stay here. So I went to go stay with my brother. I slept on the floor for like I was on my brother's couch or floor for like a month in a sleeping bag in Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah, and I said, I'm going to go get my own shit. And a month after that, I had my own apartment. I went to with my old roommate, Rob Holmes, and my frat brother, the line brother as well. So I looked up Tolliver Barber College, but they would not give me, I was 22 years old, they would not give me financial assistance because I already had student loans. And so I remember then, like, well, barbering was just something I tried to do. It wasn't.
And that was it.
That was it.
One roadblock, one obstacle, and
that's it. I went to Webster instead. I said, you know what? I ain't gonna never cut hair again, no way. I'm gonna go to Webster and get my master's degree. So that's why I was in my car. I was like, I ain't gonna never cut hair again, no way. That's what I was thinking to myself.
That one obstacle that could have changed. I mean, and it's all a part of the process, though. Phenomenal. It's all a part of the journey and the story, bro. Because it makes this story much better.
This is fun. I'm sitting here like.
But imagine if you would have went through that obstacle, figured out a way to make it work, and start your own barbershop back then. What year was that?
2008. And so I went to Webster. I ended up getting my master's degree. In between time, I met two different guys that said I could OJT with them, but they weren't really serious. They just wanted to make some money. They wasn't going to teach me the ropes. And that's when I moved there to Atlanta in 2012. And then, like I said, I went to barber school here. I signed up.
When your mother told you in 2013?
I looked up 3 different schools. There was Pro Way in Stone Mountain. At the time, they were $18,000. And there was Vogue Beauty School in Hiram. That was like $15,000, but both of them were way too far away from Tucker, where I was living at the time. And then I just found a third school, CEI, Cutting Edge Institute. They saved my life, Miss D. If it wasn't for Miss D,
shout out Miss D.
You would never hear from me. Like, I would not.
Shout out Miss D.
Is Miss D Black Girl Magic?
Black, yes, absolutely.
Black Girl.
Shout
the
out.
whole staff black. Cutting Edge Institute. They saved my life. If it wasn't for Miss D, there would be no me. So I'll just let y'all know that. So Miss D told me her barber program was only $2,700, and I remember calling my grandmother
instead of $18,000.
Yes, and my grandmother. I called my grandmother. I like, grandmother. She's like, what? What's up? I said, I found a barber school, and it was only $2,700. She said, boy, you better go sign up.
Sign up now.
You better go right now.
And I signed up on March 13th on a Saturday, 2013. So on March 11th, I was looking it up. On March 13th,
you pulled the trigger.
I called 2 days later and enrolled. She told me I need $250, and I told her I would pay for it out of pocket. I was working at this point. I left the Shoe Carnival. I was working down the street at the Comfort Inn part time. I was doing night art.
Jobs you had? Goddamn,
a million, bro. I used to work. No lie. I used to listen. This is you could check with anybody I know back then. They'll tell you. I used to work from 11 p.m. I would work 8 to 5 at Sherwin-Williams. Work from 11 to 7 Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 9 months, and sleep in my car. I would get off at 7 a.m. Sleep in my car for drive 30 minutes across town, or 20 minutes across town. Sleep in my car for 15 minutes and then work.
That sounds like the story we had the other day. I used to work at FedEx.
Drink some coffee. One time I drank so much coffee, my heart felt like it was about to pop out my damn chest. I had to go to the doctor's office. But that's just how I was living. Like I had to do anything to pay for it.
You're no stranger to hard work. You're no stranger to sacrifice.
When I was a kid, my grandmother, when I raised my grandmother, when I get off the bus, she'd be like, "I'm gonna let you cut the grass today, and then I'm gonna let you wash the dishes, and then I'm gonna let you rake my leaves."
Because it's a honor, it's a privilege.
Yeah, I don't live with you; you live with me.
Whew. Peace and blessings to all the grandmas. That's
strong.
Well, she instilled that work ethic.
Yeah,
like you ain't finna be getting nothing for free.
I hear that.
You gonna earn it.
Grandma told you need to do it. Grandma had the price, and she said It's go time for you.
Yep.
Talk to me.
All right, it's go time. So the journey after this is not pretty. This is the where you get all. I'm a high optimistic type of person, so I get all excited about shit, and then I go do it. But that road get bumpy. Then.
So you saying it's not like this?
Oh no!
You saying it's not like
no.
It gotta be easy. Entrepreneurship has to be
no,
easy.
Yeah.
You leave Sherman Williams, you say I'm gonna open a barbershop.
And
it's up for
and
me.
it's up.
Everything is easy.
It's up.
Dude.
Come on, Dave.
So this is what happened.
Say it
Started
ain't
barber
so.
school in March of 2013. I finished in October 2014. I got my license officially January 2015. So it was a year.
So,
Yeah, it was
almost
a year and a
2
half.
years.
Yeah, almost 2 years. And in between that time, I didn't even think I was gonna make it.
Is it supposed to be that long, or did it
I was
take you
going part
longer?
time because I was working a regular job.
Got you.
So one of the things that
But you stuck with it though.
hell yeah, I already paid my money. I'm committed.
Yeah.
Being accepted by your own peers or people in the industry, in that industry. So here's the thing, like I'm dressed and I'm working in corporate America, so I'm wearing like button down shirts, slacks, you know, dressing professional, coming into the barber schools. I'm being judged by classmates and stuff, and people like, cause I don't look like them. So if I ain't as fucked up,
Cause you dressed up nice.
yeah, cause I'm dressed up nice. If I ain't like, you know, I don't say the word fucked up looking, but if I'm not urban looking, then I must not be a barber. Like I remember one time when I was in barber school, somebody said, "What you do for a living?" I said, "I work at Sherwin-Williams." Like, that's my day job. Why you want to do this? I was met with that several times. Like, bitch, cause I cut hair. The fuck you asking me stupid ass questions for? like you, but they don't know that I've been doing this. Like, just cause
I've been cutting hair since 14.
right, yeah,
Since I've been cutting hair longer than you, bitch.
yeah,
They don't know.
right. Like,
all they see is you buttoned up and you
yeah,
clean cut.
yeah,
So
right.
you came in with a clean cut and professionalism that they wasn't coming in with.
Yeah, there you go. So that's what happened.
Okay.
So basically, you get in like that, or I was dressed a certain way. People thought I was an instructor, and then even then, would you believe I had never really faded a head besides my own head before that?
Hell no.
Cause I was just doing lineups, edge ups, and even all around,
No fade.
and maybe a little bit of a taper here and there, but I wasn't doing it. But I picked it up real fast.
Okay.
And because I'm an artist, I was visualizing it. So when you start cutting hair, you got to visualize the end before you start. So I'm able to visualize the end. Even now to this day, I can have a client in my chair and 2 clients waiting, and I already know how I'm gonna cut their hair, fading very quickly, because I can visualize the end before I start.
So somebody walk in right away, you already know. Like once they tell you, of course, what they want, you already visualize. Oh, okay, yeah, I could do that. And do you know like how long it's gonna take you, type of thing?
I cut fast.
That's a skill in itself. That's a skill in itself. Because I've had barbers who cut fast, and they will fuck you up fast. And now, I mean, let me tell you, I'm bald now, but I used to get my cut every week.
In February of 2019, I had LASIK surgery, and I came in here and still cut hair was blazing. When I had PRK LASIK surgery. PRK, look up what PRK LASIK surgery is.
So you ain't here cutting people's heads with no vision.
No, with vision. Vision without blind, but still having the vision. That's crazy.
I love you to death, Dave, but I'm glad I wasn't.
My mother was like, people let you cut
You wouldn't have sat with Dave back in 2016?
My eyes were swollen this big.
Hell no.
I look like Tommy the Hitman Hearns when he was on
That's
market.
crazy. That's crazy.
Go on ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm a thug it.
But I was grabbing guards, knowing which one it is. I could feel the rhythm.
You can feel the
Remember,
rhythm.
I told you Corey showed me how to. I was feeling the rhythm when I was sitting in Corey's chair when I was 14.
Yeah.
I could feel the rhythm, and I could already tell you which one it is. Like
that's
I'm just grabbing it.
That's God's gift, though, bro.
That's a gift.
I'm grabbing the shit, putting the shit down, grabbing the shit again.
Gift.
That's a gift, bro. That's amazing.
I was doing it so long.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I'm doing it so long. I can do that shit like it ain't nobody business.
Okay. So tell me, you said that road was rocky.
Cause I still had no plans of cutting hair full time. The plan was to stay at Sherwin-Williams and move up the corporate ladder. If you go on my social media, my very first barbering logo said Old School Dave, the executive barber. My line brother, his name is Duvall. He went by the executive Q. So he told me it was cool to use the executive logo or name, and I put that as my barber name. He's now my financial advisor. So I never had any plans of. My goal was to only cut hair part time. So
still bullshit with the gift.
There you go. And like
how old are you at this point? I'm just curious.
Like 26, 27.
So from 14 to 27, God's gift.
I had somebody speak to me 3 times too, and I know it was God. So I after that 3 different people to speak to me 3 different ways. I know it was God speaking to me through other people. So I had it was hard because I was trying to work 2 jobs at the Sherwin-Williams during the day, go to barbering school, and go to work my part-time job. Twice while being in barber school, somebody stole my clippers. $500 worth of clippers. And then my apartment got broken into on September 2013. My apartment got broken in. I was on the phone with my cousin, who you saw me outside with about 2 hours ago. I was on the phone with my cousin, walked in the door on my lunch break. My whole apartment cleaned out.
More hurdles they put in the way.
Huh?
More hurdles.
Yeah.
That are put in your way to try to deter you.
Derail me. And they did not try to work with me or nothing. And then they charged me $3,400 to move. My insurance check was exactly $3,400. I gave them $2,000.
So you got $3,400, and they charge you the exact same amount that you got
to break the lease. This is what happened. I paid them $2,000. Got into it with the lady after she found out that I told Nicole about what happened to me. Nicole, so they didn't even really honor that, and my shit ended up going to collections. I had to use the other $1,200 to move, and that's when I moved to Sandy Springs. Because my same line brother Duvall, who let me use the executive logo, moved over here to Sandy Springs. That's how I ended up in Sandy Springs. He moved over here and got an apartment. And he stayed with me for the first 2 months, and I moved over here with him in my own apartment right around the corner. And I ran out of the $1,200. He knew I was hurting for the money. We was right around the corner at 5050 Abernathy. He gave me $100 and said, "Dave, go ahead and pay for your application for your move-in." I wasn't even thinking barber school was worth it. I was like in barber school on the trains looking crazy, barely having money to pay for gas. Some days I ride a train, some days I get gas. Some days I barely had money for food, so I was trying to pay off a credit card. It had to still charge the damn same credit card up.
So this right here is this, but no. Like I'm glad we're here because this right here is what the show is all about. You are in the middle of.
I had every reason to give up.
Yeah.
You are in the middle of. You got a decision to make.
Oh yeah.
This is exactly what people are going through every single day. Though they're like, yeah, I would love to own my own business, but it's not for me. It ain't meant.
I'm on the train.
Yeah, it ain't meant, man.
I gotta make a decision.
I'm over here. I'm in debt. I'm going through collections. I'm getting my apartment broken into. I got this, that, the other, everything going against me.
This don't stop at Dave.
Yeah.
This is going on modern day, right? Like right now. So Dave, let me ask you this, and like from your heart of hearts, what do you, as Dave the author, Dave the entrepreneur, Dave the business owner, Dave the leader of men, what does Dave today tell that Dave that got to make a decision between goddamn gas and a bus ticket? What do you tell him?
You know what? It's real simple. If you look at my forearm, it's written in red, "Don't give up. We're depending on you."
Perseverance.
It's right here. It's right here. Don't give up. We're depending on you. When I was going through some of the tougher times in my life, my grandmother said that to me. So I was always the one. My mama told me,
it's different. It's different when you got somebody
David,
else.
You are. I know I put a lot of pressure on you, but you're my most responsible child.
And she knew that. She saw that in you.
Yeah.
She knew. Shout out to the mamas and the grandmothers that got the vision and the prayers and the protection and the provisions.
It's the women in
my
the
people
life,
ain't
bro,
had no bread. My mom.
They knew.
Yeah, they ain't had no money. They ain't had no money. They ain't had nothing to help me with. I mean, but they were helping me by speaking life into me, cause I was ready to tap out.
That's worth $1 million.
Yeah,
right
like I was ready to like.
Just having somebody.
Somebody
Go ahead,
to believe.
I'm cutting you off. This is a great story. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So, you persevered through all these struggles and all these. You had all these things going against you. When did it click? When did that?
Because it still ain't.
Because it hasn't clicked yet, right?
Still like,
when did it actually? When did it finally click? When you said, "All right, it's time. Like, I need to start doing this. Like now. Like I need to do this for me, not for corporate America, not for anybody else, not for the 3 jobs that you working." When did it click for you to say, "Now is the time"?
All right, perfect. So I got fired. I think I told you I got fired in July 11th, 2014. What happened? So to get to the meat and potatoes. All right, so going through barber school was a struggle. I remember I had an interview in October 2014. Even though I'm in barber school, I had an interview with Comcast in October. I got fired in July.
I feel like when you go through those struggles in corporate America, like as far as me, in my perspective, my mentality, I'm like, okay, this is all part of the process, right? It's meant for me not to go up because I'm meant for something better than this, right? As far as like perspective wise, like I'm like, because it's how you think of it, right?
It's how you think of it.
Because if you're like, oh, the world is against me.
But if you pay attention, one of the first things Big Dave said was getting fired from corporate America was the best thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that at the time.
You didn't know that at the time.
Most people don't. Most people don't.
Most people don't.
It takes
but
that,
as a successful
that push.
business owner, you got to realize your potential. You got to realize what's inside of you, right? You got to realize, Dennis, like I know your skill set. I know everything that you're capable of. I know everything that's possible. I know that, like, if you bring it back, we've been doing this show for a month. We know experts according to society standards, but in my mind, we the best that ever did it and the best that's going to do it. However, corporate America may tell you you're not good enough. Corporate
What
America,
are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Shut up and sell cars.
Shut up. Shut up and dribble. But
yeah,
that was your story too. But going through it, you didn't realize that was the best thing that happened to you.
But that's what we're trying to get through to people as well. Like
everybody that's in
like,
that.
You gotta understand. You gotta try to realize, what your passion is, and take that risk. Because it's one thing for you to want something or to think that you're passionate about this, but there's too many hurdles, too many obstacles, whatever. But you're in corporate America and you're unhappy every single day, right? So it's one of those things like if you're unhappy every day and you have a passion for something, take the risk.
But Big Dave, talk to me. Catch me up on that moment in time from your journey. So now you've jumped from being manager at the store. Now you're corporate. You're corporate level, and you're still hitting glass ceilings.
That's it.
You're still hitting glass ceilings.
That's it.
You had got fired from Sherwin-Williams. You were still working other jobs though, right? After that.
Yeah, I left the hotel for a second, and I was just doing. I actually did barbering. I was in barber school, but I did when I left Sherwin-Williams in July. I did barbering full time for like 3 months. That was just for the catch and I was working at the hotel too. But I did barbering full time.
So that was kind of like a little trial period.
That was a trial period.
Did you like it those 3 months?
It was cool. It was a different period because I never not had got a paycheck before. So
you were at a barber shop for 3 months.
Yeah, Uppercuts, the first shop I actually worked in.
Uppercuts.
Yeah, where every cut's a knockout. And actually, those guys, Kenny, he works here. Kenny gave me my first opportunity. Now he worked for me, and Doug was with him too. Him and Doug been together 30 years. And
Crazy. It's funny how that works, huh?
That's life cycles. Pay homage.
Oh yeah.
I used to stand on the side of the road with a sign The hair said haircuts for sale for $10. And I used to stand outside for hours until people came in. Like I used to refuse to go back inside without somebody. I used to
Persistence.
Oh yeah, because you planting seeds in people's brain.
Mm-hmm.
I remember 2 occasions just standing on the side of the road holding a sign. I went to Verizon in Dunwoody to go pay my phone bill when I had them at one point, and this young lady was like, "I know you." And I'm like, "I don't know you. How you know me? You that guy to be standing outside on Roswell Road with the sign." There was an older black guy came in one day, and he was like, "Man, I seen a guy outside holding a sign outside in the rain on a Sunday." But I was desperate. I needed money. So I had to do whatever I had to do to make money. So that's just how that started. Also, so we already went over how I lost my job, and so I was still trying to hold on to the corporate America dream. Because again, I was going by the executive barber, so I had like a corporate level tier to myself. So I had a homegirl named Angel. Her and her homegirl, they were from South Carolina like me. They used to live down the street, and right here in Sandy Springs on Roswell Road. Angel invited me over for dinner with her and her homegirl, and she did hair. She used to work for State Farm, but she also was a hairstylist and owned 2 hair salons. And she's still in the hair business. But she said, "David, you too talented to be on somebody's job. Why don't you just cut hair full time and see if you like it?"
What year was this?
2014.
Okay.
And I ignored it. I had an interview in October 2014 with.
Is this one of those people that you were talking about that gave you that?
Yeah, the three people. One of the 3 people that that spoke to me through God. The second person was Mr. Jones, Jeff Jones, one of my barber instructors. Mr. Jones, I had an interview with Comcast, and he said I came to take my practical test for my barber exam. Came to take the practical test with him, but I had an interview earlier that day, and I came with a suit. And he said, "Brown," I was standing on the corner of Mitchell Street. "Why you got a damn suit?" I said, "I had an interview today." He said, "With who?" I said, "With Comcast." He said, "Boy, if you don't take your ass in the shop and make some money, you'll make more money than any cracker can ever pay you." That's how he said it.
Grandma told you this shit when you was 14.
Yeah.
And Mr. Brown came through at what age?
That was Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones, my
Yeah, Mr. Jones came through. I was like 28. I was standing on the side. I was standing on the corner. He came out the barber school. I was just standing on the sidewalk. I was there to take my barber school test. I finished up my practical, and the practice practical with him. And then the third time I heard it, when I was on that job, the last job I ever had, Focus Receivables Management on Delk Road in Marietta. There was this guy. He came in the bathroom. I used to go to the restroom, and this guy, he had a bald head, short, real muscular and fit guy, and his beard was really nice. And I was like, I was washing my hands. He was walking in the bathroom. He worked on another team on the other side of the department. I was like, "Man, your beard nice, man." I just got my barber license, but I just like, "Your beard nice, bro." I said, "Man, appreciate it." I said, "Will you get a cut at?" He said, "I go to a Man's World on Cloud Parkway." I said, "Oh, yeah, I heard of them." I said, "Man, I just got my barber license." He said, "Oh, for real?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, my barber make $1,000 a week. What you doing here?" And then it just kind of hit me. And then everything else.
You can make money doing it.
Right, I can make money doing it. And so here I call my mother, and when I called my mother, I was like,
18 years later, according to my calculations.
Yeah. I'm like,
but
it's 14.
It sorry to cut you off again, but it's one of those things like if you don't know what's attainable, like it's probably like you didn't know how much you can make, as a barber. So that's why you're like, oh well, I'm not really gonna do that full time. I'm not really, it's not really something I care about, because you was only charging $5 a head back then, right? So it's one of those things. I don't know. It's just one of those things that I would say, when somebody doesn't know what's an attainable goal, there's really no bar that they can see, right? Like if you don't know that somebody can make $1,000 a week, You know, in your mind, you might think, you know, these barbers, they only making 200-300 or whatever. I can make more at my job than risking it as a barber.
So
You know, so
Dave,
it's one of those things.
to my brother D's point, was that the first time you heard a figure?
Probably so.
Was that the first time you heard a figure attached to your?
Well, I was already in barber school. I might have, maybe it might have passed. Probably, I'm sure it passed by my ears before. But I heard. I remember being on Terra Boulevard. We had Miss D had opened a second school, and there was an older barber instructor. Older, I was 28 at the time. The guy might have been 45. And he talked about putting his kids through school through barbering, how he bought himself cars, how he bought his mama a house. And I was thinking to myself, like, how the fuck he do that? Like, I was
He ain't
like,
doing that just cutting hair.
Yeah, I would think, there you go. So I wasn't really thinking about it like that. But I remember after that, I remember calling my mother, and I was like telling her, I don't think I'm going back to work. Like, I can't do this shit no more. I ain't going back to work.
After you spoke to the third person.
After I spoke to the third person, I called my mother, and I told her I don't think I'm going back to work no more. She's like, David, well, you got high blood pressure, and what about benefits? I'm like, Mama, fuck them benefits. I'm broke, and I gotta pay rent.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to CIAA in Charlotte.
Fuck them benefits. I'm broke.
It's a beautiful time. CIAA LC.
So I used to go to CIAA every year. I went to CIAA to party one time. I was flat broke, couldn't pay my rent that month. My mother and my grandmother had to help me pay my rent for the month of March of 2015. And I was like, that'll never happen again in my brain.
Shout out to the mother and grandmother again, though.
Yeah, they paid
on the
my
journey.
Rent. They paid my rent. And I seen this video from The Rock. And he was one of my favorite wrestlers, favorite entertainers, favorite movie person. And he had a video talking about how he was down to his last $7, and he had to make something happen. And I told myself, that finna be me. And then I got into an argument with my mother about staying on that dumbass job. And I remember talking to my grandmother. And she's the one that freed me from that mindset. She said, David, you are 29 years old now. Stop listening to your mother. You're a grown man.
Took the cage off your mind.
That's it. And after that,
free thinker.
I ain't going back to work. And this is how the whole old school Dave thing came about now. So March 1st, 2015, I hit the ground running. I hit the ground hard. I had from 2010 to about the beginning of 2015 was so rough in my life. I used to think God didn't like me. Like I had I lost my fiance, left me, had a miscarriage. I had a best friend died. People turned their back on me. People lied on me. Lost a job. You know, car almost got repossessed. I mean, ran up credit cards, bad credit, like you name it. I was there.
You've endured it.
Oh yeah. And so now, I remember I started cutting hair full time within 3 months, but June of 2015, right down the street on Roswell Road at Classic Cuts. I left Uppercuts and came to Classic Cuts after 10 months with Uppercuts. After about 3 months, I had saved $7,500. I ain't never saved $7,500 before in my life. And I've saved 4, 5, but I ain't never seen $7,500.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember it was a Sunday. Barry gave me a key to the shop, and it was a Sunday.
It's a Classic Cuts.
Yeah, Classic Cuts right down the street where the storage place is. And Barry, I locked the door on a Sunday, and I remember locking the door, and I just remember walking back. I pedaled backwards, I walked backwards, just staring at the door, literally just staring at the door. Then I point my hands to the sky and said, "Thank you, Lord." I could not believe that I had saved $7,500. And then
it's powerful, bro.
Yeah. I could not believe.
It's powerful that you realize that, and in that you stayed in that moment, and I mean you realize how powerful that was to you. So that's
yeah. And I remember
that's amazing.
Barry, my first Saturday I always call myself the undisputed champ and the king of Sandy Springs. That's my nickname that I call myself. That's like my little ego booster. So Barry was this Nigerian guy. I was a Nigerian-based barbershop. My first Saturday working there, I made $257, and I had cut a few of his clients. Now, Barry didn't know I really had a few clients from down the road and from barber school already. He wasn't really up on game at first, and so I remember making $257 on a Saturday, and I was excited. I was happy. I ain't ever make that. To me, that was a good day back then. And I remember Barry walking to his car, and I was leaving the shop, and I said, "Man, thank you, man. Like I was just like, thank you, bro. Like I can't believe I just made $257." He said, "Believe me, there's more where that come from. I'm the king of Sandy Springs."
Oh, he was the king of Sandy Springs.
Oh yeah,
You
Barry
took
been
his
around
title. You took his throne.
Undisputed.
Undisputed king. I got you.
How many shops done came and gone since I've been around?
Yeah.
How many shops have I put out of business since I've been around?
Hey, bro, like I said,
I'm him.
That's strong.
To,
Shout out to that, bro. I like that.
he said, "Stop being humble."
I like
you know
that.
what you got.
Hey.
Confidence,
like I said,
bro.
I came to Atlanta. I tried at least 4 different shops before I ended up finding a home. And when I found Clip Culture, I was like, "This it."
Yeah, come on down to the altar. This it. This your new home. Come on down to the altar.
I've been coming here since 2019, I think, since I've been here. Yeah, it's a beautiful situation you put together, but we gonna let you keep flowing, bro.
So yeah, after that, like about a year and a half, like I'll say by like now we talking Barry. So here's the ugly part of this game. There's a lot of hate in this shit too. So oh boy. So now you making more money come more problems. Biggie wasn't lying. So like, you know, I got Biggie tatted on my arm with the counting the money. Every day I'm hustling. Like, but it come with more problems. Now you starting to envy starting to seek in. So now here's the thing. At that shop, right? I'm gonna tell you something. I could cut, but I wasn't as nowhere near as good as Jason. No, Jason was awful. I was nowhere near as good as Barry, Tesla, Mike, or Mark. We had one barber named Jason that was awful. I wasn't Jason level, but I was pretty good. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I probably get back then. I probably give myself like a 6. But that was off of not enough experience. Like I had raw talent, but I hadn't matured in my.
You haven't owned your craft.
I hadn't honed the craft in the shop experience talent, right? But good enough to cut, like, you know, better than
holding your own at least.
Yeah, because I just came from a shop and barber school, so at this point, I'm 2 years in, but I ain't, you know, with those guys got 15, 20 years.
You ain't undisputed at this level yet.
Yeah, I'm intimidated to a degree, but
I'm with you.
So what happens is, I would look at some clients and I would mess up haircuts sometimes. Not completely bad, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it like 5, 6, 7. You know, sometimes every once in a while I hit a 10. But over a while I start getting better and better and better and better and better. And so now Barry clients starting to come to me. All those Nigerian guys that him and Tesla start cutting.
Whoa, is Barry the shop owner?
And so he started off giving me a discount with Booferin. And what happened was he didn't know that many people were going to just be coming into me. What I realized was at that shop, you don't even have to be that really good. You just have to be better. You just have to do all the things that they're doing wrong. Not do all the things that they're doing wrong. This person always late. This person smells like weed. This person talks too much. That person can't cut. This person don't market himself. All you got to do is sit there and watch.
You just picking out, okay, don't do what he's doing, don't do what he's doing.
Dismantling them.
So time out though. I think that's a business jewel.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a business jewel. You look at what your competition is fucking up at.
Yeah, do the opposite.
And do the opposite.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah, and I'm doing it right. So now they're getting mad. Now they're getting extremely mad, and I don't fit the stereotype of a barber. Like I'm not.
'Cause you still clean cut corporate.
Yeah, there you go.
You still clean.
So
cut corporate.
I don't fit the stereotype of the lazy, don't want to work. You know, incompetent, inefficient, don't know what he's doing. I'm fitting the different stereotypes. So now I'm something they ain't never seen before, and they getting nervous. they and Barry's saying stuff like, "Oh, you got a college degree. Why are you here?" Now I'm hearing this bullshit again. like, why am I here? Like,
that's cool.
Like, oh, why you want to do this? Or, oh, do you think this and you think that? I don't get paid to think. I get paid to cut. Like I don't get paid to think. So. Like it was just that type of hate and type of situation, and then me and Barry finally had a one run in. Like, what Barry used to hate on me so bad that I had to start coming in earlier because he started counting how many people I did a day. And, or I had so many, I would have cut more people than him. He would try to make me shut off my clientele at a certain time on Saturdays. He would make me shut off my clientele on Saturday. That's how
So
strong
that's
it
another
was.
hurdle that you had to go through.
Yeah, my clientele was getting that damn strong.
Shout out to Barry for putting you on your journey.
Shout out to Barry for giving me Clip Culture.
Yeah.
Barry, I appreciate you.
So I was like, all right, Barry. And so he was like, yo, but then he would stay and cut hair. He would stay and cut hair after hours, or let other barbers
Catch up.
or let other barbers cut hair after hours, but I couldn't cut hair after hours. I've done nothing wrong. And so I always told myself if I ever got my own, I wasn't going to do that to nobody. I was going to share information.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote a book called Clip Culture Manual. So I ended up sharing the gems that, you know, with people, because I ain't want to hate on nobody for trying to come up or do their own thing. I said, let me share what I know and what I can do with other people. But that didn't even come then. But what happened was after that, I ended up leaving Barry's shop, and I feel like I learned all I could learn there. And I just got into it with him one night, and he told me, you got to bounce. Because Jason did some sucker shit, and he didn't get on Jason. And Jason was the worst barber in there.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't let Jason go, even though Jason was destroying the clientele there. Jason helped his ego, because Jason was awful. Jason was no threat.
Made him more comfortable.
Yes. I was making him too uncomfortable in his own shop, and Jason was lazy and trash, and Jason made him feel good about himself. So I had to leave. And then I went to tune-ups, and that's when I got the flavor. That's when I started working with Nate. Nate is name is Nate Poston. We go by Nate Grizzy. Nate is the brother to DJ Jarrell. DJ Jarrell is Amigos DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started meeting all the rappers and the entertainers, and Black, and then there was Cali, and then there was Art, then was Marcus, there was Zach, and Doug. Doug came down there with us too. So I worked with an arsenal of barbers who could cut, and that's when I started sitting by Nate chair and Black and Art and learning every damn thing. Dressing all the way to jury. That was all the fly niggas. Like, that was all the fly.
Mm-hmm.
They were
That's the
younger.
game.
I was around their age too. I was actually a little bit younger than them. But because I'm 37 now, they like 38, 39, 40. But back then, like 7 years ago, like, you know, I was 30 at the time. So we all around the same age. So they putting me on. They the young fly dudes doing it. But then I was getting a little hate in there too by a couple dudes that wasn't doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then even then, I would stay quiet, mind my business. I was getting clients in the shop, other people, clients coming to me because I used to stay quiet, and they were, those guys were talented, but then they you know, sometimes their business acumen wasn't the best. But it was that was a more hip hop fused shop, and then here come the bullshit there. I stayed there 1 year, 10 months. So by May of 2016, remember I told you I saved $7,500 at 3 months. Here we are a little bit over that time. I've saved like 50 grand at this point.
Mm.
So
Wow.
now, yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
So you went from
Yeah.
making what was it, like $600
$600
every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks?
Mm.
So now you got 50 grand saved up
Right, and this Nigerian.
in just a short amount of time.
Short amount of time.
This
Nigerian
that
guy
is crazy.
came to me. He came with me from Barry's shop, Classic Cuts, and we went all the way down to Roswell. It's a barbershop now called Cut Something or whatever, Cut Doctor. I don't know what the hell they call. But I looked at that same damn shop. Well, he wanted to partner with me. He's like, hey man, and he's a Nigerian. Hey, you know, I want to get a barbershop. You know, maybe you could be the barber. We could do it together. Boo, 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 boo. I like, all right, bet. He went to Miami. We went to go look it out together. He went to Miami for a weekend, and he came back, and he was like, oh, David, you did not call me. Why didn't you call me? Like, you told me we were going to talk business when I came back. You did not call me. I said, hey, bro, Don't talk to me like that. I work for myself. I don't work for you. You got me fucked up. Don't you talk to me like that, bro. And at that moment, I knew I wasn't partnering with nobody. I was gonna save as much money as I could, and I was gonna do this shit my damn self. Because the biggest thing I ever told myself, if I ever found a way to make a way, I was never gonna stop. I was never ever gonna stop if I found a way to make a way. I don't give a damn how I was gonna find a way, but whatever trade, niche, way God had for me, if I found a goddamn way, I wasn't gonna stop.
Figure it out.
So what I ended up doing, I saved $130,000, and so I was.
Is this
Whoa?
Because
Whoa.
these numbers are getting a bit larger and larger. Is this straight barbershop money or for straight cutting hair?
And I was paying my taxes. Yeah, I still was paying my taxes.
I'm just saving
I was
my
cutting hair all
barbershop
night. I was cutting hair all night.
Every dollar you get,
I got pictures on my phone from 2015, 2016, 2017, just sitting on the floor with money. I ain't want to talk to nobody. From 2015 to 2017, I didn't even go outside.
So this is for the young world, the South.
I ain't go outside.
You put your head down. You said,
Yeah,
I'm focused. You had a goal at this point. You wanted to own something, so you put your head down and just focus on
This
that.
is to the young world that want to go outside, that want to go get money and go buy a bottle and go buy a section. And you wasn't doing none of that shit.
No, I don't want to talk to nobody. If it wasn't about no money.
What year was this?
2015 to 2017. All I did was stack money.
2015, 2017. That's when I had the I-8. I was going out every night. I was doing all this dumb shit. I was the one doing all the dumb shit while there was people that was focused, locked in. Imagine, bro. People locked in on a journey instead of fucking off the bag.
Everybody's journey is different.
But what what do you want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish in this world? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want to have your own, or you wanna have fun?
Because Dave, when it was time to say fuck you,
that was going to happen.
It was gonna happen, and it did happen.
And so
so the owners of Tune-Ups where I was at, they try to get over on me, and that's a whole nother layer of shit in Atlanta. The people you think got it don't got it. Some of you they be playing, bro.
The visuals.
Oh, yeah.
You saying they out here bullshit?
Yeah, so let me tell you the story.
Oh, shit.
So Tune-Ups, two brothers, Isaac and Eddie, tried to get me out $109,000. They were trying to sell Tune-Ups for $109,000. That barbershop is not worth that. First of all, this is a lease. You don't own this space. You don't. And then when I come to find out, they had like backed up taxes for like $30,000. They had a lien on their equipment.
They trying to sell.
So you did your research.
They trying
to get over on you. They think you don't know what you're doing.
You're right. And it was just me. And then what basically this guy named Kevin said at the end, this was August of 2017, because they were trying to court me for a whole year, 8 months to try to give me the shop. Look, man, I'm going to tell you straight up, it's probably going to blow their deal. But he was the property manager, the leasing manager. He said, look, the rent is $2,200. But it's going to $5,400.
Woo.
I don't give a shit if you pay it or they pay it.
That's why they were trying to sell it to you.
They were trying to get. And when I saw Isaac, he came back to the barbershop. He was outside. I said, let me holler at you outside. I said, I spoke to Kevin. Kevin told me that the rent going from $2,200.
Kevin was the property manager.
Yeah. I said, Kevin told me that this rent was going from $2,200 to $5,400, and the most he could do is $4,900. Isaac started stuttering. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. He ain't told us that. Yeah, let me get my lawyers involved. I don't know what's going on.
You can get your mama involved. It don't matter at that point. I ain't paying $4,900.
This nigga lying.
This nigga sitting
he lying to me, whatever. So I let that go. So for like 2 weeks, I didn't want to stop what I was doing because I was making too much money to stop. And so at this point, and these owners didn't cut here. They just own the barbershop. They own 2 Little C's, one in Canton and one in Sandy Springs. And both of them shut down now. That's why I say I'm the king of Sandy Springs. All of them gone. All these people, Barry gone. He not in business. The pizza people gone. Tune-Ups is gone.
That's wild.
I just signed a new 5-year lease. I ain't arrogant. I ain't cocky. But
you should be.
I'm going to take you out.
You should be with the journey you went through.
Yeah. I'm going to take you out.
Crazy. Undisputed.
Business wrong. I'm the king of Sandy Springs.
Undisputed.
King of Sandy Springs. That's me. I don't give a damn what's going on.
I
I'm gonna
believe
be
it.
here. I run Sainsbury's.
I believe it. And I don't even get my cut with you. And I
Yeah.
believe it. Just hearing the journey, bro, I'm
Yeah,
like,
so
That's it.
I wish my hair would grow.
I went to on a Sunday. It was August of 2017. It was like August 13, 15, 16, 17. I drove after the shit with tune-ups went left. I ain't know what was gonna happen. Cause that
So
deal
you
that
left.
blew up.
You left out of there. No plan. You just left.
Well, I left in December of 2017. August. Let me tell you what happened in August. I rode around. I was on Loop.net for like 2 weeks.
LoopNet.
LoopNet. Oh man.
LoopNet.
Yeah, Loop.net.
I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah,
Let's
just
talk about
no. Let's keep going.
I was looking for buildings and shit and to rent and lease and all this other stuff. I like, okay, I got like over 100 saved. I said, let me just do it. I ain't calling nobody. I ain't finna do nothing with nobody. None of that shit.
Do it on your own.
Let me back up when I talk about this. I'm gonna tell you about this place where we sitting in right now. In 2015, when I was at Berry Shop, told you we was a hater, right? I ain't even know it. In 2014, let me go back to 2014 for just 1 second. I drove by here because I used to live down the street in Sand Springs. And when I drove by this plaza, God spoke to me again. Didn't know this was gonna happen. This is a true story. I said to myself, I wonder what it'd be like to open a barbershop in that plaza. And where we sitting at right now?
So I used to live right down the street too. My journey started at the Jasmine Apartments down here on Roswell Road by Northridge. And I used to drive by this plaza all the time. I'm like, damn, I wish there was a barbershop there. Man. Always. When I used to go down to Buckhead and I used to drive down this plaza, I'm like, damn, this shit. Wish it was a barbershop there.
Because you would think what it's like to own a barbershop in this plaza. And you would ride by, I wish they had a barbershop in this plaza.
Because it was like perfect distance. I was on my way to Buckhead and I'm like, damn, if it was right here, it's like right in the middle.
Right.
It's perfect.
Okay.
So I just happened to say that. When I got down to I got that Berry Shop Classic Cuts that day, I just spilled it out loud. I said, man, why don't we put a barbershop down there in that plaza? And Barry said, they'll never do that. They'll never let a black barbershop open in that plaza.
How long you been in business, Big Dave?
6 years.
6 years. In this plaza that they'll never let you do it in.
Yeah. Big Mike was like, and I love Big Mike to death. He's still my boy to this day. Still commute with Big Mike. He was like, man, that plaza too busy. Ain't nowhere to park. You wouldn't want to open no spot up there. You wouldn't want to do that. And I just like.
That just goes to show.
And I still remember that.
No, go ahead.
And then after that, around that time, I lost my job. That dentist office on the corner used to be called Manpower. Manpower was a temp service. I came up there.
I'm familiar with Manpower.
I came up here twice to apply for a job with Manpower.
Dang.
Like, I own a business on the same floor where I was applying for a temp service job.
That's
And
crazy.
every day you walk
right here in that corner.
Manpower office.
Every day. The dentist office.
God is the greatest.
I'm trying to tell you. And then that shit happened. I was riding in Chastain, up there by Fellini's Pizza. And I was riding, August 2017, I'm riding in my car, just looking around. I just said, fuck Loop.net. And I just riding around in the car on a Sunday. And I saw the Supercut sign, or it said for lease next to a Supercuts, in the public shopping center by the Arby's down there, by Chastain and all that, Fellini's. And I just whipped around the car and took a picture of the sign. And when I took a picture of the sign, you know, I called the number that Monday morning. Leslie Mintz picked up the phone. And Leslie picked up the phone.
Your memory is amazing, by the way. I want to say you remember dates, your money that you made. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend used to tell me, you know numbers better than anybody I know. She said, the only thing you give a damn about is Rick Ross and Sports Center.
Rose.
And she's like, if you could tap into I don't know nobody that know numbers like you.
Yeah,
I'm
seeing it.
Yeah, she's
it's
like,
crazy.
You remember every girlfriend I ever had, so you remember anything dealing with a date or a number or money. And I do. Like, it's like clockwork. But I called Leslie that morning, didn't know who she was. She picked up the phone. And I just happened to be driving back up Roswell Road this way. And I said, hi, my name is David. I was just calling. I saw a sign that said for leasing in Chastain. And Chastain over there by the Supercuts in the Publix. I was just trying to see if it was open or available for a barbershop. And she was like, oh no, I that's not available, but I do have 2 spots in Sandy Springs that's available.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh yeah? She's like, yeah, I do. She said, I said, well, I'm a barber in Sandy Springs. I said, where is it located? She said, do you know what a Trader Joe's is?
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
I was on, I put this on my best friend grave. I was on the phone with her, and I was driving.
And you were
up.
driving up. Oh wow!
Phone,
So you pulled
and
up.
I looked up from Roswell Road. I was literally on the phone with her.
Oh, you was at the light right here.
I was coming up.
Oh,
I was
that's
coming
crazy.
up
That's
Roswell
crazy.
Road.
It's God's plan, bro.
Like, and she said, I have 2 spots in Sandy Springs in that Trader Joe's Plaza on the 2nd floor, and I'm on the phone with her riding up.
I got long sleeves on, bro. But I got chills.
Yeah.
I got
You
chills
on the
just
phone,
hearing
see
this
that
story,
God's
bro. That's
timing.
crazy.
I ain't even seen it, and I told her I'd take it over the phone.
That's when you know you on the right path.
I didn't even see it.
Literally,
That's when you
literally on the right path.
literally on the right path.
Yeah.
You on the phone and she talking about the spot she got. You riding down Roswell Road, passing the Trader Joe's, looking at the spot like, hey, yeah, proceed, bro.
Yeah, that's how. And then what happened after that?
This was in
2017.
August 2017.
Right. So I always help my family out and stuff. I was nervous. September they gave me like the letter of intent for it, and I passed. Like I got approved. They wanted to see my bank statements and everything, and I got approved for it. And I was like, oh shit, like dang, God must like me. Remember I told you I thought God didn't like me, and I like.
First
Now
time-
you starting to realize, like, oh no,
Yeah.
it was all part of the process.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I got approved, and I remember calling my grandmother and my mother. I called my grandmother first to tell her I was so excited, and I called my grandmother, and my mother just happened to be at her house, and I was like, Grandma, she's like, guess what? I said, guess what? She was like, what? And I was like, I said, I got approved for the lease for the business. Go on, boy. I know you can do it.
Yeah.
I know you can do it.
Yeah.
And then my mama got on the phone, and I told her the good news. I said, now, Mama, listen, I can't help you no more. So for the next 6 months, don't call me ask about no money because I got some shit I gotta do.
I got real bills right now.
And after that,
It's coming.
but you know, before you go to a new level, you gonna still have to deal with some old devils too.
Old devils.
And
Oh, yeah.
let me tell you something. I didn't even tell the guys at the shop at first that I got the spot. So I had my boy Quincy make a video. I'm one of the first to start doing one of them video reels and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Call me Soldier Boy.
Okay.
But
I created the whole industry. Hey, it wasn't a reel before Dave. I was a reel. Dave was the first one with a reel.
I'm the first. But
Undisputed.
Undisputed. I had Quincy do the video of me signing a lease, and I had him play. It was all a dream. I used to read
man.
Word Up magazines,
Oh,
Salt, Pepper,
man.
and D up in the limousine.
Take
So
pictures on the wall.
yeah. So I had that shit drop. That shit went stupid on
I
social
bet.
media, and my social media started to like climb a little bit, and then like the guys at the other shop were mad. All the boys them niggas was hating, bro. They were like, it was different. Like it was different. Boy, things got thick up in there.
It's okay.
See, whenever you create separation, and everybody right here still right here, people get mad.
The attacks start coming.
Oh yeah,
When you start building and growing, the attacks start coming.
yeah. That's part of the journey.
You can count on that, young world.
Yeah.
Anybody out there that's looking
Yeah.
to do something to separate themselves from the peers, would you say prepare for the attacks?
Ain't nobody came with me. I ain't never did nothing to them. I thought that we were cool. I thought we were cool. I thought we were boys. I thought we were bigger than that.
While you were on the same playing field. as them.
Yeah,
But the moment you started to level up,
Oh, it was over.
shit started to change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't fuck with me no more.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did it hurt your
But I
feelings?
see you got that mindset, like you don't give a fuck what nobody else thinks,
No.
right? And
After
that's
that,
and
once
that's
I
very
realized
important.
it, I was like, fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah,
Hold
You
on.
gonna have to hate
that's
me
important,
One
bro.
more time.
That's
Fuck 'em.
important
now. Yeah,
mindset.
fuck 'em. Yeah, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, man. Hey,
Fuck
fuck 'em. Yeah.
That's
They
an
gonna have to
important
hate me
mindset to
now.
have, yo.
You, can
You
hate
got
me
to.
now. Yeah, that's,
If you start caring about other people's opinions
Yeah.
and all this, you'll never you'll never move to that next
No.
level. You'll never get to that next
I
level
don't
if you
care
if you
who's
let
here.
those
I don't
opinions hold you
care,
back.
Like, who doing what? I don't care who alive. I don't care who breathing. I don't care about none of that shit. This shit gonna go the fuck on. Like, I'm the king of Sandy Springs now. I ain't got no big ego.
Undisputed.
Yeah, but listen, I'm humble. But y'all done made me be like this. Cause I was trying to give you everything, and you trying to knock me down. I'm trying to give it to you, and you trying to knock me down.
Now you got to get out the way.
Now, or I'm gonna have to knock you out the way.
Yeah.
Message.
You can do it by choice or by force. Which
That's
one?
it.
Get down and lay down, big
They
day.
call that in Spanish. They say plata o plomo.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And I'm gonna do it. And I'm
How
gonna
you
do
want
it
to take this
bigger
shit? Plata
and
plomo.
better than you ever did it. You can't do it like me. I know you can't do it like me. I'm a curator. You cannot. You don't have the vision. You don't have the discipline. You don't have the drive. I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning.
In the words of Swiss Beats.
And I be tired. I be tired as hell. But I be like, you know what? You not regular. You not them. Get up. You got to go to the gym.
Get up.
You got some shit to do today.
Get up.
You and them are not the same. Y'all not
Get
the same.
up.
We not the same. I will outwork every last one of you. I'm not better than you. You better than me. You more talented than me. But you're not going to outwork
You
me.
ain't going to outwork me.
You ain't going to out-hustle me. You ain't going to do none of that shit. So just forget about it. You probably going to teach me some shit that I'm going to take and add to my toolbox. I'm going to take some of your tools and add it to my toolbox and then use the shit against you.
God damn it.
That's
Gangsta
solid.
girls, you bastards.
That's
That's how
solid.
I go. That's just how it's going to be.
I love that.
And then everything after that, after I got here, everything over here still wasn't sweet. Because some of the shit you thought you weren't going to go through, you still go through. Because what happens is you let bad energy seep in your business. And everybody try to like take you out. But guess what? You can line up on a goddamn balcony and talk about me. Guess what? The first time I got rid of somebody, I was nervous. Now, hell no. Pack up. I don't need you. I don't need you. If you got some bad energy, we gonna give you enough rope to hang yourself. I had dudes worrying about, oh, why he selling t-shirts? Why he selling products? Why he doing this, ho? Shut the fuck up.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like I don't like. Do you worry about what another man doing for? Like, if you gonna help me sell the shit? Is you helping me sell the shit?
Exactly.
Have I asked you for $1?
Exactly.
No, I haven't. So shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like, this is the way it's gonna go, cause I got control of the show. I'm bringing art, but the goal was to bring artists together. And create that fusion of flavor, style. Clip culture is urban, modern, traditional, upscale. That's what we are. We're urban, modern, traditional, upscale. Clip culture is about bringing the music, the politics, the networking, the business, the party, the fun, the relationships. We bringing all that shit together. And we're going to feel good and we're going to have a good time and we're going to go home.
Dave, you dropped a lot of jewels. You dropped a lot of wisdom on us.
Right.
And for that, we appreciate you. But I want to tap into to the young world, right? Barbering, going back to when you were 14 years old and you got them clippers in your hand. Barbering is one of those skills that just cannot be taken away from you. It's one of those things. So is this something that you would recommend to someone who is in a transitional stage in life or looking for a career change? Like if they have the gift of art, what would you say about barbering and the potential that it brings?
I think that I would recommend that you at least tap into it or try it out.
Yeah.
I'm never going to limit somebody and what they can and can't do. I do think there's certain things you're going to have to be called to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I always say, I wasn't looking for this stuff, so it came from me. But everybody's journey is not going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some people who totally sucked at barbering get totally great. Some people totally suck at it and still totally suck at it. So I mean,
It depends on what you want to put into it, right?
Yeah, well, no, experience don't always mean nothing. I
No.
mean, some people it's just a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think try it out. Try a lot of stuff out. Try out whatever you feel like you want to try out. You could be boxing. It could be a chef. It could be carpentry. It could be music. It could be whatever. try it out, and see. Anything you do a lot, you're gonna get better at to some degree. But will you ever hit this right here? That depends on your skill level and your will level. It's either a skill or a will. So
Going back to what you had said, it was like, you probably not the best, but you the hardest working.
But I operate like I'm the best, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's in the mind.
Yeah.
Right. Being the best is 80% is mental.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little bit less. You got to be pretty good, actually. To be undisputed, you got to be pretty damn good. But I'm just saying the work ethic is 100%.
Right.
That's all on you. That work ethic you put in is all on you. So, yeah. Onto that.
It.
Let me ask you this too, though, before you go into the next question. So, what to those that do put in that work and they have some talent, some skill, what advice would you give them as far as beginning, as far as like their marketing themselves and strategies on that aspect of it? Like, would you recommend them go through the college days where you was doing it for free or for $5 or something like that, or focus more on how to market yourself pricing wise and getting the money? Like, how would you
well, that's a great question. I think that
I appreciate that.
That's a phenomenal question. I think that focus on getting your craft together first. And first and foremost,
don't worry about the money.
Don't worry about the money. Focus on your craft. Focus on being in love with the process and the journey of getting better at what you're doing. The money and stuff gonna come after you fall in love with what you're doing.
I think you said that too. The money will follow you.
Yeah, the money gonna chase you down. So
yeah.
I would focus on that. People gonna know who love it and who don't love it and stuff like that. Because sometimes you meet people with the highest skill level that don't like it, that don't love it, don't care about it, don't respect it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just, but if you focus on just being proficient at least first. At least you can. If you don't love it, it can at least be a sturdy job. Like it could, because you're not gonna love this shit every day.
Yeah.
Some days days are gonna be a job. I don't give a damn how much you love it. Just like marriage, right, or a relationship. Like you're in love every single day. Like you know what I'm saying. So I would just focus on doing the fundamental things, and then as far as my time coming up, I didn't know what I was doing. Like I was preparing myself for something that I did not know I was preparing myself for.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure your journey is way different than what most young people, coming up and most kids now, they seeing barbers and they're like, damn, I want to do that. And, so when you were coming up, you probably didn't see that. Like you were saying before, you didn't know what they were making until deep into your journey. So, I know there's a lot of people out there, there's a lot of social media out there, and, people can see that a little bit more clearly now. As far as the money that there is to be made, is like that. So that's why I was asking that, just because some people focus more on the money before they master that skill or put in the work. And
I'm gonna add another element to what you're saying. I've become, and I hate to say certain things because it makes me sound like stupid, arrogant. But I've become.
When you're undisputed, you can say what you what you want to say.
Like I cut like 130 to 135 heads a week. I don't know any other barbers
that
doing
sounds
that.
like a very, very high number. I don't know how much that is.
So the average barber in Atlanta right now cuts in Atlanta, Georgia. The average part-time barber cuts between 15 to 20 heads a week. The average full-time barber cuts between 30 to 45 clients a week.
So you're doing more than triple that.
Correct. Most of them ain't trying to even touch.
So that puts that in perspective.
Yeah,
so
they don't want that. Most of them.
They can't outwork you, and you mean that's 100% true.
People come and work at this shop in 5.5, 6 years. 41 people. Cause I'm a numbers guy. I remember every single thing. I would say 33 out of the 41 were part time. So they're not.
That came and worked for you.
Yeah. That ain't including the other spots I worked at that didn't belong to me, or that this industry is a high turnover. People don't want to work. And so I've seen it, and what I realize is money don't make people happy. I had a barber here named Corey. Love Corey still. He's no longer here with us. He's back in Louisiana. Corey is one of the skillful, most talented barbers I ever met. And I'm like, bro, I wish I was this talented at your age. He's like 28 or 29 now. He's still young. And Corey did not give a damn about this shit. And I let Corey work here like at least 3-4 times. But one of the second or third time he came back to work here, he came back from Louisiana and he made like $8,000 in 2 months. And he still was broke. Still tricking off the money. I gotta let him stay in my shop for like 2 weeks. He ain't had no place to stay. Wasn't trying to get no apartment. He was ordering Jordans, having to come to the shop, throwing birthday parties.
He hasn't hit that mindset yet.
Because you can't go.
But you can't put that in people's head.
You can't go to McDonald's or Burger King, come from Louisiana, and make $8,000 in 2 months. Yeah. You're not gonna make that damn near anywhere. But my shop was able to, off the marketing that I put in, and my sweat equity, and the other guys is putting in with the marketing here. You're able to eat off of my sweat equity, and you still don't give a fuck. So that I learned that money don't really change habits.
Yeah.
It don't change with the way people view this thing either. For me, it did, but I was at a bottom place and I wanted it, and I saw the potential in the.
Not everybody got your journey. No. Not everybody been through all of that.
Yeah.
Obstacles and struggle and all that. So I mean, people go through struggle, but not that specific one. Or you get to where you are. So
you get people that what they do too. They turn it up when they want money. When they want money, they'll turn it up. When
once they get it, it's over with.
Once they buy a car, once they get an apartment,
it's over.
Or
the goal has been accomplished. What else is there to do? God. That's it. It's over with.
Or people's attitudes towards you change. Once they get.
But that's a big thing, though. People do it all the time, and that's why the book that we read, Atomic Habits, and I had told him about it right away. That changed my life because it changed perspective. Like, damn, we always do have a goal that we're trying to reach, but once you reach that goal, then what?
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck the person.
That's it.
Help them.
Instead of loving the process and sticking with the process, and the goal is gonna come eventually, right? But you gotta enjoy the process. You gotta fall in love with that process. So, I do have 2 questions to go follow up to what you were saying. So the first one. With the employees, right? So when you have other barbers that come in, how do you deal with? And I'm asking you this more selfishly because my girl has a hair salon as well, and she's worried about bringing people in because, in case somebody comes in, they learn everything from you, they getting clients, off of your sweat equity, and then they leave and do their own thing. Or go somewhere else and take the clients with them or something like that. How do you handle that as far as do you make them sign contracts or do you just you don't worry about it? Like, what's your kind of your standpoint on that or your view on that?
Oh, great question. Everybody that works at Clip Culture, they got an independent contract agreement. So you get an independent contract agreement. Clients and clientele, they gonna go wherever they want to go anyway.
Yeah.
But I feel like this. My marketing is so strong. And we put out so much work. There is nobody like me. Like, if you go on the Clip Culture Barbershop page, you can see how much I promote the other barbers. I promote everybody before myself. I promote barbers that don't even promote themselves. So I'm always going to get other people desire to work here when they see how much I promote the other people that ain't even promoting themselves. So I ain't worrying about what I lost.
And they ain't paying for that.
No, I promote them for free. Like, that's why I said ain't nobody. I'm one of a kind. Like, I just feel I'm an innovator. So I'm gonna always keep the wheel moving. Like, you stuck. I'm never gonna be stuck because I have a unlimited mind. Like, my mind is so.
You got an entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah, you can't stop my freight train. I mean, I'm gonna tell you though, it's times when you get tired and you got to reinvent yourself again. You got to dig deeper. You got to dig deeper. Because that shit will try to knock you out when people take from you. You just got to keep going. You just got to.
So how do you stay motivated, right? In an industry like this, right? Because a barbershop, I mean, business in general is tough.
Short term, long term. I just did 5 years. So my goal is to stack up a lot of money. I just did 5. I done got most of my personal stuff out the way. Like I done bought a nice crib, got nice cars. Um, I done revamped the shop again, bought the chairs. So I just signed another 5 year lease. So you got to go into it thinking I'm gonna do 10. So the goal is to do
beyond the 5 year contract.
do 10, maybe get to 13, maybe 15. I don't want to tell nobody 15, but get to 10 years. So I got 4 years, 8 months, 9 months left on this lease. Get the and then
you down to the
I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
Yeah, so I'm already fractioned out how much money I can save in 4 years, 9 months. Go buy me a duplex.
Yeah, that's
sell that house, live off of interest. Even if I ain't got but $3 million in 4 years, or maybe $5 million in a certain amount of time. I think it's Culture One. But yeah, like figure out how to. You got to set a plan. If you plan it out, you can have an exit strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal is to stack up as much as I can, because I may not want to do this forever or every day, but you go in it with ain't nobody touching me for the next 10 years. You got to go in locked in for 10 years, and then after that, you can look at 3 to 5. Can I do another 3 to 5? Can I do another, but at least go into it with a 10-year mindset, and then you can come out on the other side.
Strong. I didn't expect that, but that's strong. So the other question to that was just a side note question. So the other one as well, as far as your marketing, I know you say you market yourself and do all that. So what kind of marketing strategies do you use? I know you do social media. Is there anything else that you're using, or is it just strictly social media?
So social media, and I haven't done it in a long time, actually since COVID. But the first 3 years of the business, like I would pass out 60 flowers a week. So minimum hand them out, hand to hand.
Old school.
Yeah, because you meet people that way. Like everybody not on social media. To assume that everybody's on social media,
like cold calling or knocking on doors.
Yeah,
same
you
way.
got to go touch the people.
Yeah.
You want to get the people, you got to go touch the people, and then you got to go touch some more people. So if you're doing 60 a week, that's $240 a month. So
numbers guy. I like this guy.
Yeah,
God dang.
Yeah, so you just gotta touch the people. Like I mean, it's
at the end of the day, it goes to numbers. We sales guys, so we know all the time. Like
sales,
it's about how many people do you touch in a month? Because we're like monthly figures, so the same way. But yeah, I mean, it makes all the sense going with the flyers and doing that. So
there's no wrong way to market. As long as you're doing something, you're gonna go.
Something's better than nothing. Exactly.
I used to manage a foot action right out of college for like a year, and sales stands for start the sale, ask questions, lead people to buy, end the sale.
I never heard that before.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Say that one more time for the people.
Sale stands for start the sale, ask questions, lead people to buy, you end the sale. I apply that to everything. Barbering is nothing but sales. Sell yourself. People buy the story. I got people that come in here, I tell them about my crazy life, my love and hip hop life. They come in here to hear the story.
Yeah, damn. Therapeutic. We go back to that.
Yeah, what you got going on? What you done did this week? What happened this week before? What happened? How the situation played out for you? Or they might actually just at the third. So people come. It's a show.
Yeah.
Even if
you gotta put on that character.
Not sometimes, but it's a production show. From the music playing to the TV going on, the conversations, what you let ride in here, like
it's a culture.
It's the production show, but you got to watch that too, because the same culture you put on for, take you out too. So,
Well, when you own it,
shout out to Young Dog.
When you own it, it's I mean, you creating it, so it's a little different. It's a little different instead of working for somebody where you gotta be careful, because those same people might hurt you in the end. But if you own it, at least you have a little bit more control. Yeah. So I mean, it's always gonna be something, some kind of obstacle or hurdle or somebody
Mm-hmm.
That's real.
But when you own it, you know, you got a little bit more control, a little bit more say so.
That's it. So switching gears, bro. So you're a pioneer in this industry. What advice do you have for young barbers looking to get into the industry and looking to make a way for themselves? Like, what advice do you give them?
Now, cause the game done changed since I got in. I came in before social media really got popping to that level.
Mm-hmm.
But get your social skills up. Like, everybody not on social media, learn how to talk to people, how to deal with people. I know barbers who are phenomenal barbers, but don't know how to go outside and talk to somebody and bring somebody in. Can you bring? I ask a lot of barbers when they ask to work with me. For one of the first questions, I asked them, could I, if your life depended on it, could you go outside and bring somebody in today? Could you bring somebody? Can you bring in 2 people a day?
Would you stand outside on a Sunday in the rain?
Yeah, would you stand outside on a Sunday in the rain?
So the business isn't being a barber. The business is acquiring customers.
Start to sell, ask the question.
Sales.
People buy.
It's sales, period.
Sales.
It's sales.
I could go outside right now. Let me cut your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't want you to cut my hair. Okay, well, I do it for $5. $5. I'll do it for 10. What?
Mm-hmm.
I do it for 15. Well, you know what? I'm doing it for free. You just want to tip me? You tip me.
Mm-hmm.
That's different.
How hard?
That's
is that to do?
different. Yeah.
They're not gonna do it. But I'm not gonna.
Most
but,
people aren't gonna do it, and that's why the people that do
But here,
go through that struggle, and the people that do take that leap or that, you know, whatever
see
you
it
want to
differently.
call it, they see it differently because they're like, oh, I ain't worried about the money part of it because I know once this guy sees my work,
I'm gonna retain a customer.
I'm retaining that customer for as long as I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that all day long. Like, you know, do it for the free, but you know you're not really doing it for free. You're really gonna get that customer, and you getting that. That's coming back. So
that's amazing, bro. Another question for you. Not only are you a barber, not only are you a business owner, you're an author.
Mm-hmm.
You took time out of your life to write the pages in this book.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired you to write this book? Who is this book for? What is this book going to teach me?
All right, good question. Like, Clip Culture Manual was set up. Actually, my client Ron Epps. I've been cutting Ron for 8 years. Love Ron to death. Ron is who inspired me to write this book. I've been cutting his hair for 8 years. Until this day, I still only charge him $20. He was the only client I charged $20 to. The only one.
Damn.
I cut.
Shout out
he
to
look like is that my best price then?
But I mean, he done gave me $1 million worth of game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gilly.
And he done gave me the $1 million worth of game. So I used to have so much crazy shit happen in the barber industry. He was like, man, you need to write your book. And he just say stuff so subtle. And they're like, man, you need to write your book. Or this will happen. Man, you need to put that in the next chapter of your life.
Mm.
Then he'd be like, every time he come in, I tell him about something going on. Man, that book just got bigger.
Mm.
And he kept saying that shit to me.
Keep telling you to write the book, goddamn.
That must have been number 4 then.
God be speaking to you.
That's number 4.
Come on. So Ron Epps
Church in here.
it inspired me to write the book. And I told Ron when I first came up with the book, I gave it to him for free. I said, you made me write this book. You don't even understand. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna write a book. And so I was good at English in high school, elementary school, middle school. I was good at, cause I was able to articulate how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I made the book cool too. Like, you know, I got the pictures in there. I put the boys from the shop
dope.
in there. Like I face-to-face marketing.
Show the people.
Yeah, there you go. So like I put the game on it. Like I ain't really just, I put the team on. I put the concept. It's just quotes. It's not just quotes. It's free game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like my grandmother used to talk to me a lot and give
LP, one of the greatest barbers. That's my guy.
Yeah. So I wanted to put the game in there and make it cool, and I wanted to paint the scene. I wanted to paint the picture of what it was, and then I want to use the word tired. That was one thing. So many things happened, so I started writing it down, and then so many people were also asking me because they saw my marketing and my social media taking off, how I did stuff. How did you do this? How did you do that? I got a little tired of people asking me. So if you want to ask me all these questions,
just put it in a book. Makes sense. Sounds simple. Makes sense.
$20. Where can they find the book, bro? Is it
on
Amazon, Kindle.
Is it just in a physical copy, or can you get it?
Physical copy. I got the physical copies here at the shop, or you can order it online.
You can order online. Is there an Audible version as well, or is just physical?
Just
okay.
Physical.
Physical or digital?
That's it.
Right.
Yeah. I also want to add too. We talked about this earlier. You can probably edit this part later, but for new barbers too. Do not come to work and sit on your fucking phone. If you don't have $1,000 on your phone, take your ass outside. If you drive from Ackworth, if you drive from Kennesaw, if you drive from Duluth, if you drive from Loganville, if you drive from Fayetteville to Sandy Springs, or any barbershop, do not come to work and sit on your phone. If you don't got $1,000 on your phone, what the hell are you scrolling to do? I also believe my mentor taught me something. I'm gonna share this with you. Whatever age you are, if you're 36, you need to have $36,000 in the bank minimum. If you are 50, you need to have $50,000 in the bank. You don't have a for every year that you are alive, you don't have that many years to save $1,000 on your life.
Yeah.
Don't come here and sit in the back and write rap songs.
Don't go bullshit.
Don't come and then look at me crazy. Don't come here and cut two heads and go home and look at me. That's what I tell barbers. This is a hustle. You got to hustle.
But you gotta talk to them like that because they gotta feel that.
This is a profession.
I feel that, and I don't even cut hair. I feel it. I'm like, damn.
Hustle the profession. This is a professional. This is the second oldest profession known to man. Prostitution is number 1. Barbering is number 2. You got to hustle the profession. That's the only way you're gonna make money. Like if you try to make this thing happen. Now, if you ain't trying to do shit, then don't do shit. But if you want to,
don't do shit here.
Yeah,
don't do that shit. Don't do that shit here.
The issue that we have with barbers is, LP will tell you, or any barber that's been here for a long time will tell you, what happens is they want to work 25 hours a week and cut 25 heads. If that. And so you get so many. No, what happens is, and it doesn't matter if they're talented or not. If they're not committed to it, they're going to keep, believe it or not, in Atlanta, Georgia, they will keep 5 to 15 to 12 to 15 clients max, right? They only want 5 to 15 clients, which is a small amount, and then so that they only want to manage that many, and then they want to catch walk-ins, so they're not confined to the shop, so they can just come and go as they please. So basically on those days where they slow doing whatever else, they can just blitz the door, because I don't have so many barbers come and go want to be car salesmen, sell weed, rap, fish plates. I mean, chefs, photographers, whatever the hell you want to do. I mean, work at racetrack, work at Dunkin' Donuts, like work at Delta Dental. Like, I mean, I done seen personal trainers. Like, they want to do everything but cut hair. But this still be their main source of income. And so whatever else gets slow, then they want to come back and try to run it up a little bit more, or get mad when the dough ain't moving. Like, but they don't want to stack consistently because they trying to do shit outside of here in their personal life. They trying to do 3-4 different things, and that don't work off of somebody else's business, because you can be part-time with clientele. You can't be part-time with no clientele. Like they
don't add up.
No. Sorry about that.
Nah, all good, man. I appreciate you sharing. Again, the show is for the young ones that's out there that's coming up, that's trying to figure out. So they need to hear this, because nobody else gonna give it to them like this. Like,
no.
You giving it to them from the top of the game, and if they can't take it from Big Dave, who the fuck they gonna take it from? But that's amazing. I appreciate you sharing that. I'm gonna switch gears real quick, bro, because coming in here every day and looking around at the shop and everything you got on the walls, you got everything from Jay-Z to Martin Luther King to Kobe to LeBron to Muhammad Ali to Waka Flocka. You got a lot of culture on the walls. I see manhood, scholarship, perseverance, uplift, respect, faith. There's a lot you got on these walls. So when you talk about clip culture, when you step in here, it's a taste of culture.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean in terms of like what are you giving to your barbers? What are you giving to your clients? Like, what does the culture that's on the walls? What does it represent? Does it tell a story? What does it mean to you?
Absolutely.
Like, talk to me about the culture that you have on the walls.
Oh, this shit mean greatness.
Yeah.
That's all. Everything you saying, everything you said is just greatness. What I wanted to do was, because he said it a few times, I didn't know how big I could be because it wasn't really shown to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to show little black boys and brown boys and people who it wasn't shown to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get them that inspiration now.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally right in front of you.
Free game in the chair, free chain game on the wall.
Yeah.
So when
it's all over the place, it's greatness all over the place. And I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm just, as you're saying it, I'm like, damn, that is greatness. Like, really, literally, everybody in here is great. Man, this is
right.
It's inspiring, man. I mean, I wish I worked here. I wish I could cut heads. I could work. It would be crazy.
If I die today, I wanted people to see this shit. Like, this man put that shit out here. He put it out here in the universe. Like, he put it out here. And when kids go off to college, when, I've been doing this for like 10 years in Atlanta now, but I want to be able to, like, if I do another 10 or whatever, like, I want kids to come back and be like, Mr. Brown or Dave, like, Mr. Dave, like, I see what you was doing. I see why you put those on the wall now. I see why you was doing what you was doing when you was doing it. Like, I see why you was painting a story. You was illustrating what we was trying to, go higher.
The iPad died.
Oh, okay.
It probably died, right?
Hey, bro, so at this point, we just focusing here. We gonna wrap up.
Yeah. We got these two. Well, focus on this one. Cause I'm about to ask you. I'll ask you the last question, and then we good.
All right, better. But yeah, so.
You got anything else before I ask the last one? Cause I'm gonna ask this one, and then we go into the.
What he just said.
Well, let me ask this last one, and then you just wrap up the show. Wrap up everything.
Let me pass it to you.
Okay.
Dave, I think that's phenomenal, bro. The fact that we have all of this history, all of this greatness on the walls. Long live Nipsey Hussle. Long live Pop Smoke. You have all this greatness on the wall, and I think it's important to display that not only to the young kids coming up, but the grown men that look at these people that we because I'm gonna be honest, hip hop raised me.
Mm-hmm.
And you see some of these faces. You see Nas on the wall. You see Jay-Z, and you see the heights that hip hop has taken it. And you see Martin Lawrence. You see Will Smith, you see Floyd Mayweather, you see Kobe. All of these faces are inspiration to everybody, not just the kids, but the grown men as well. So you come in here, you get the cut, but you also tap into your culture and you see the things that men that look just like you, things that they've gone out in the world and accomplished. It's important for us to see as black men, because society will try to hold you down, but when you see things that people have overcome and that we've excelled in entertainment, we're excelling in business, we can excel in anything we put our mind to, like civil rights movement, like you got all of that on the wall. So I think that's important. But switching gears, man, I appreciate you for just putting that and feeding that and pumping that into the community, because everybody that come in and get a cut, you can't come in here and not get inspired.
Yeah,
you can't step foot inside of Dave's shop and not get inspired. You got Kaepernick on the wall. You got you feeding the souls of men.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And you can't take that lightly. That's a huge feat. So for you, I appreciate you for keeping the torch alive.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the good bro, 6D bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But that's it, bro. But
it's bigger than me. So I just want to inspire everybody. And it came from some people not showing me certain things. So I just want to shed light on everything that people ain't showed me or feel like I ain't get. So I'm going to try to do the best representation. I just feel like, we represent the bros. So, like, anything with our name on it got to be great.
Right?
Like, it got to be great. It can't be watered down. It can't be lukewarm. It can't be half-assed. Can't be none of that shit. You're going to do it with a lot of enthusiasm. You're going to do it. And if you're going to do it, you better do it right. When I was a kid, My mama used to say that was mediocre. Do it again from the top.
Do it right.
From the top.
So I just want to say, so I do see everything, and it's powerful. It's inspiring. It's giving me
Appreciate that.
inspiration and motivation too. Just, I'm not a barber, but this whole conversation, this whole hearing your journey and everything, like, it's just motivating me to want to be great at whatever. Anything that I want to do or accomplish, I feel like it's possible. So definitely appreciate that. But one thing I do see, I'm just looking straight at it, is the price list.
That's old.
So going back to the subject of the show,
Talk to
is that your best price, right? So as far as that goes, are those your best prices up there?
Those are the best. That board hasn't been updated. I just say that. But the price, I charge 35 to 40, just depending on what I'm doing.
Okay.
45 with design, but I keep my prices pretty reasonable. I've seen barbers kind of price themselves out on the market. Like, I've seen barbers go to 50, 60, 70.
That's
80.
what actually kind of threw me off of the of going to a barbershop, like the price, and just because. Like I was saying earlier, with like new barbers coming in, right? So sometimes you'll get a barber, and as far as it happened to me, like, I was growing up with the barber, and I was paying the original prices as they were coming up, and you pay the 15, 20, and as they get better, they prices go up with it, right? And it's expected, and I'm a loyal guy, so I'll pay 20, 25, 30, and then you get to a point where you're like, whoa, this is it's getting a little up there. I was doing it weekly prices, weekly cuts. And I'm like, damn, we talking about $50, $60, $75. Whoa. Like, that can be, right? So to your point, people price themselves out of the market. And so that's a kind of deterred me from sticking with the barber. So just a little side note.
At home with the Gillette.
Yeah.
Got the Gillette.
Well, let me answer that. I'll add my 2 cents to it. I actually have heard the opposite. Like, I keep hearing I'm like Target with Walmart prices. So I've heard I almost got to a point where I got offended because now you get clients, because I just went up recently, but I got to the point where I was people like, dang, he the nicest barber in Atlanta for the cheapest. So it didn't really bother me because I knew exactly what I was doing. I was building those relationships because I didn't go up for all 2 years. Like, during the pandemic, when everybody was still charged,
consistent.
I stayed consistent because I wanted to keep those relationships the long way, and then I was never really hurting for money because I had people paying me more any damn way. So I was never really tripping on the bread like that. But now it's to a point where my hands are worth this. I still only charge 35, but I still have people pay me 40, 45, 50, sometimes 60, sometimes 70. Like, I don't have to like nickel and dime nobody.
They paying what they feel your worth is.
Yeah, so right. And now on the flip,
because your worth to me could be $100.
Right.
And to the next man, they might pay the 35 just because they see it. So that's another question I had too, just to kind of end the show, I guess. Your pricing strategy, is there like a specific way? Do you look at the overall consensus of what everybody else is charging, or is there like a certain strategy that you have?
I still want to be able to reach the common man, the everyday man. I still want to reach the everyday brother. So so there's not going to be too many guys between the age of 23, 24 to 45 that don't know what prices are in Atlanta, because you got people now that, okay, you know what your homeboy barber charge. You're like, okay, let's say you got 5 homies, like, and all 5 homies go to, they friends, but they all go to different barbers. They know what each other barbers charge. So it's not an uncommon thing to where you can't click on somebody's profile or somebody sending you their home, that, homies share each other barber links and compare prices. But I think it's also, like I said, how talented you are at that price. what your demand is. Now, I do think sometimes barber school students are getting it jacked up, like people who never really cut hair before. Well, I just want to go to barber school and charge $50 a cut, $60. You don't know what come with that. Like, you know, you got to get.
It's a lot of responsibility
if you want,
behind that haircut.
I always tell people, whatever price you charge, just like I said, you need whatever age you are, you should have that in the bank in the thousands. Whatever, if you're charging $35, you need to have 35 clients. If you're charging $40, you need to have 40 clients. If you're charging $50, you need to have a minimum of 50 clients. And if you also are charging higher prices, you need to be working less days. You shouldn't be taking your prices up and then trying to make up for whatever you're not getting off the door. You need to be able to stand on your prices.
Yeah.
Because I don't seen barbers take their price up, and then when they start getting slow, want to try to hit the walk-ins.
Exactly.
So you need to be able to stand on whatever you're able to do too, whatever you claiming your price is. So I don't have to like whatever is gonna not keep you thirsty, or not seeking you have you strolling up and down on your phone.
That's it, man. I think we got shout out to $1 million worth of game, but goddamn, I think we got it today. Man.
Definitely.
And Big Dave, I appreciate you being one of the pioneers on the show. I appreciate you for being an upstanding man in the community. I appreciate everything you bring in, not only to the Metro Atlanta area, but to everybody out there that's watching, anybody that's thinking about doing something. I don't care if it's barbering specifically, because I definitely think you motivated some young ones out there today, but anybody that's out there thinking about starting a business, because the way you move with excellence, the way you move with integrity, what you demand of the people around you, I think it transcends beyond you. It transcends to the men around you, myself included. And I thank you for bringing that energy to the show. Is that your best price? I think you answered the question. Your best price is more than fair.
Yeah, thank you.
It's more than fair. But again, I appreciate you, man, and I appreciate you for being one of the first on the show.
Oh, thank you, man.
We just getting started. We're a month in, but again, you are one of the first people I thought about because the way you move with excellence.
Thank you, brother.
The way you move as a man, the way you move as a business owner, you embody what this show is about. So, again, thank you for being one of the first guests.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Pleasure meeting you, man. Pleasure hearing your story. It's I feel honored to be sitting next to you and hearing the struggle that you went through, man. That's crazy. Man, I know a lot of people have different stories and we all have our own struggles, but yours in particular, man, to hit all those obstacles and all those hurdles that you went through and to overcome it to be where you are now, man.
The undisputed.
Yo,
Springs.
much respect.
King
Undisputed.
I'm
Undisputed.
gonna say the king of Atlanta. Who in Atlanta fucking with you?
Undisputed, bro.
Okay, cool. So we're going to expand it.
Tell them come to my shop.
We the king of
Outcut
Springs.
me. Outwork me. Out-hustle me.
We the king of Atlanta.
That's all love. I got a lot of love for y'all.
There's a lot of barbers out there. Shout out to all the barbers. Everybody
Shout out to all the barbers.
Shout out
we all gonna win.
To the beauticians. It's a lot of money out here to get. It's not just limited to one person. But D, I'm gonna take us home and you can follow up. Long story short, everybody out there, when we are asking you to like, when we are asking you to subscribe, it's not because we're trying to build our social media presence. That is a part of the game, but the bigger part of the game is we need you to be able to reach more entrepreneurs. The more entrepreneurs that we are able to reach, the more lives we are able to touch. And the goal is to touch lives. We're not out here just doing this for our health. Me and Dennis are good. Trust me. We're good. This is not our source of income. But the goal is to be able to touch entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs so that we can continue to grow the culture together. Clip culture is the culture, and we are here for the culture. We're not here for our personal gain. We are here to touch lives, and you liking and you subscribing and you tuning into what we have going on only enables us to touch more entrepreneurs, to be able to touch more lives. So every time you click that button, we greatly appreciate it. But we out here changing lives, man, and that's the goal, that's the mission, and we appreciate every last one of you. So we're in the early stages. We have been doing this for a month. I think today marks a month for me and D doing what we're doing. But we're not doing this for ourselves. This is way bigger than us.
It's bigger than us.
And we having that conversation, like we realize how big this is. So when we ask you to like and subscribe, that's not for us. That's for everybody out there coming after us. So
yes, sir.
I think like, subscribe.
On that note, like, subscribe,
share
this,
repost.
Download it if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever platform you're watching it on. Please help us out, help us grow to help y'all grow at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, we trying to do this so we can all grow together, get out of the struggle that we going through, and look at the journey. I mean, it's only right. We doing this for the culture. We at Clip Culture. It's a beautiful thing. And yeah, on that note,
that's it.
Episode 5.
Episode 5. Business owners, tap in, reach out, hit us up.
Hit us up, let us know.
I think that's a wrap.
And before we go, if you want to throw out all your social media out there, we're gonna put it up there anyways. But if you want to just throw it out there,
okay.
And I'm gonna pop it up while you saying it.
My social media handle is Old School Dave. That's OLSKOOLDAVE. The barbershop page is Clip Culture Barbershop. Clip Culture Manual can be found in the stores or here at the shop. My life is Dave_86. That's my personal page. Like, share, follow, all that. Pleasure talking with you guys. I wish the best for you. Got any questions? You can always pop up on me, call me at the shop. I'm around.
Yes,
Open
sir.
book. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We
That's
working.
a wrap.
That's a wrap. Big Dave.
Right,
My
you,
guy.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
All right.
Pleasure. Ash, you already know.
Enjoying the journey, bro.
Yes, sir.
Episode 6 coming soon. Fuck with it.
Oh, boy.